way! It's Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler! Thanks, Santa! I can't wait to start reading this! Dieses Buch gehört mir. Wer widerspricht, bekommt es zu spüren.
Be sure that we're both on a list. Oh! Ardy and this. Ardy and this. You can't be sure that we make the most pissed. Streaming through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the Ardy escalating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry. Ardy and this. Ardy and this. Let us show you what you might have missed.
You see, my editing style is, would 5-year-old Ardy approve of this? And it looks like, Feltas, we're guilty, and we are, in fact, live.
Man, that fucking intro goes hard. We're live! Yes, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Ardy and Fist. I'm Ardy, he's Fist, you know.
People do get confused. They do get confused.
They do get confused. I don't know how people can tell us apart. If you think about it, right? You're so similar that we are. How you doing?
I know,
man?
we sound the same. I mean, the topics, our interests are very similar. You know, we're both slop content creators, right? Neither of us know a lot about history. It's very easy to distinguish, difficult to distinguish which one, who's who.
Oh, I'm using the wrong mic. Bloody mic. Thank you, chat.
Yes.
Fucking,
yeah, that's fine.
The mic. Yeah, and of course, we also share that left. Right, let's not forget that. You know,
we share the what?
That left testicle that we share due to that unfortunate surgical accident. You know what I mean, right?
Digital left testicle. Okay, we are conjoined digitally.
It's a bond deeper than most people could know.
Yeah. No one ever talks about the e-testicles, right?
That's right. That's right. Indeed, the virtual testicles, if you think about it, are even more important than the real. It's like the testicle matrix, you know.
you know, like the whatever the strings are that connect your testicles to your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those
the vas deferens.
The little. My urologist, I got kicked in the hip at a hardcore show once. Okay, and my sack started hurting. And I felt my sack, and it was completely filled with blood, okay? Oh. So I had to get this checked out. It was tight, right? And my urologist described it as worms in the bag. And I was like, do you have a degree? He called it worms in the bag. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, you know all those little strings that hold your testicles in your body? Yeah. He's like, worms in the bag. I'm like, yeah. Don't joke with me right now, okay? I'm in a lot of pain.
And this, of course, is the story of how we came to share a left testicle. You know,
Fist was that very doctor.
That's right. I was that very doctor, and that's how we first met. Oh, it seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? And I, of course, unselfishly offered to timeshare my left testicle with you, an arrangement that has continued until this day. Amazing, really. You know. It's an example of what whites can do when they work together, you see.
Yeah, great poster children right now. Yeah. Sorry. I'm just gonna start doing weekly apologies to Eric Harfall. Eric, again, I'm sorry. Okay? Whites are probably capable of a lot more than doing that. Okay. Also, Thomas Rousseau, just want to apologize to you. Right? Still rooting for you guys over here. Okay. Sure. Whites are much more capable than that. Fist, too many things are happening. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There's too many things going on right now.
Yeah, it's girthy at the moment, right? It's
oh my lord,
you know, massive. Yeah.
So only 6 days ago, I was doing a stream on Vrillium, okay? And during that stream, I was watching his stream live. And he's obviously view-botting his streams, okay? Now I have a litany of evidence. He deleted that stream. I still have that stream somehow, even though he deleted it. So I'm thinking to myself, tomorrow, I'm like, okay, well, now I got to cover Vrillium clearly view-botting his stream. And I want to cover his Discord. He just nuked his Discord, but I already infiltrated his Discord. So I already have a bunch of stuff to show from his nuked Discord. So the stream tomorrow, I have to do this. I have to hurry up and do it. It's going to be about Williams' deleted stream and nuked Discord, which I managed to recover both. Also, somehow Greg the Groiper, like an hour and a half ago, dropped the full Nick Fuentes, Hunter Biden discussion, which I think we're going to be able to cover on Tuesday, definitely. It's probably going to be a lot of stuff happening in between now and then with it.
I mean, I caught like about the first half of it. Fuentes comes across like really, really well. I think he's trying to moderate his position. He might be angling for a political career, actually, you know, like a few years down the track. Yeah, well, I mean, okay, so Hunter's all like, you know, why did you like say those like bad things? Look, the thing about Hunter is he's still basically a libcuck, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of his like framing, right? Like at one point he talks about his Mooish wife, and he's like, "Oh my god, don't you realize like how hurtful the things you say are?" And Fuentes is just like, "Is it really that hurtful?" Right? And then Hunter starts like lecturing him. But Nick was basically saying all that stuff that I said was mainly just edgelording. It was because like woke was like so hardcore. You know, everybody like felt suffocated. So it's interesting. I don't know, man. I mean, like Hunter comes across like as a good speaker. I think he might have that thing that a lot of people when they do very hardcore drugs they sort of disappear from reality for a while, right? And then they
getting sober?
Yeah. No. But if when people do like enough drugs, they sort of basically separate from reality, really, right? Because they don't pay attention to anything apart from drugs, right? Mm-hmm. And then they get sober and they come back to reality, and they're sort of not really aware of like what's happened in the years or whatever that they've been away. And that's sort of the general vibe I get from Hunter. You know what I mean, right? He's suddenly sort of like he's suddenly come back.
Right, but there's unlimited respawns. Then there's like super duper game genie unlimited respawns. Okay, yeah, he has more unlimited respawns than the average unlimited respawner. He has gotten so many softball interviews after his laptop stuff got fucking leaked. Like he is not living in the same universe as any of us. He's even more delusional than fucking Hassan Piker is. Okay, with how pampered his fucking entire life has been, no matter how much he fucks up. So I mean, I don't even understand the point of him having a conversation with Nick Fuentes. Like, what is he trying to do?
Well, Hunter reckoned that he got like debanked and stuff, you know, when all the like scandal broke and stuff. I guess the question that everyone should be asking is why the fuck aren't you in jail? Right? Like if it's like any normal person who got caught with that shit on their laptop, right? Like they would have gone to jail, surely, right? But you know that's how it works in the real world. If you got a really influential family, right? Like, I don't know. I thought it was. I mean, what I saw of it, I thought it was like an interesting conversation. I didn't see them like come to blows or anything like that. That
happens later on. There's 3 parts, and part 1 was an hour and a half ago. I think part 2 was a half an hour ago, and then part 3 is probably going to be in the next few minutes or so, probably. But.
No, the whole thing's out. I've got the whole thing.
He was doing it in separate parts. Greg the
Yeah. But other people have been like posting. You know how Twitter is. So yeah. So I mean, no, like, let's see. We'll wait for the reactions, and then we will farm the reactions. Right?
Speaking
It's
of-
not much, but it's
Yeah.
honest work.
Hey,
Sorry, go
speaking
on.
of farming reactions over here, I found him, fellas. Okay, I found the mother lode of this guy, and it's really all I care to watch. Okay. Let me just,
It's small glasses guy.
dude. So apparently he's a stand-up comedian, but like it's really hard to find his stuff. But he's done a few like hour-long episodes of stuff. And in case you don't know who he is, let me show
Okay,
you.
so what are you blowing the whistle on right now?
I personally had access to a womb in a government agency where the government was using computer chips, but they were putting them upside down. And what this does is it makes them 8 times more powerful. But it actually makes them really unstable and dangerous. And the CIA is using that right now. They're using upside down computer chips that can actually do things that you can't imagine.
Like what?
Without even knowing who you are, they can actually send you emails.
Okay,
I love him. I listen to it continuously. Now, fellas, specifically Fist, it's your favorite part of the stream.
Oh, really?
Okay? Yes.
Uh-huh.
Here we are going to be doing some worship. Okay, as we often start out the streams now. Okay.
Gonna get the torture in. Look, I timeshare my testicle with you, right?
Yeah.
And this is how you repay me, like making me watch crap like this. I feel like I'm getting like the raw end of the deal here, mate. I'm just saying. All right, fair enough. Go on.
As someone who used to view this as Christianity, it is my service and duty to mock it and to shame it. Okay. So. Especially since I'm attracting more pagans now, it's like pagans. If this is like, if you're going to try and rag on Christians for this being their Christianity, they are going to really, really hammer you for your paganism. Okay. like, let's be fair with what we're criticizing about each other, but here we go.
Now, this week we're talking about the Bible as an object of worship that we hold. And for me, the Bible is not my favorite thing. I grew up in a faith tradition that used the Bible as a weapon, that used the Bible as a way to end conversations and win arguments.
Yeah, you're not supposed to use the Bible as a weapon. You're never supposed to wield it. Okay, you're supposed to just sit there politely, passively observing it. You're not supposed to do anything active with it.
She kind of has a point. I mean, I get what she's saying. Right, I've seen a lot of like weirdo Protestants do this. They'll sort of like treat the Bible as some kind of like movable feast, and they'll just like they'll grab like a quote from here and a quote from there, and they'll stick them together, and they'll like
Was that a fat joke? Feast? Yeah, it was. Wow, unbelievable.
Well, she looks like she does.
Well,
she enjoys a movable feast. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, well, let's see what else she has to say.
Instead of begin conversations and create connection, right? In this church, I have found that the Bible is intended to create connection, but it's still really hard for me to pick it up. If you were with me in queer theology on Monday night,
Queer theology on Monday night. Oh, there
Look,
it is.
Look, wait,
Yeah.
pause. If I may contradict Miss Feast,
You want me to pause it after queer theology? I didn't see that coming. Please continue.
The church is supposed to build community, right? Like the Bible doesn't build communities. It's the church that builds community, right? Queer theology. Oh, mate. Okay. I'm strapped in. I got my fucking retard helmet on. Let's go.
Terrific.
About my experience with this, it's still something that I can't pick it up and read it. It's hard. It feels very triggering. It puts me back in that place that I was in when it was used against me as a queer person, trying to find my space in the church.
It's going to be a tough space to find, fat ass. So, Fist. Now, I do have an ironclad dagger to orthodoxy right now. Okay. Now you are the
Okay, have I seen this guy? I can't remember. I have seen some terrible takes on orthodoxy recently. Presumably, presumably all the other churches are feeling a bit insecure, right? Because the Chad Orthodox be like walking around with their like amazing drip and shit, talking about the divine mystery, and all the other churches be like, oh, so they're like sort of threatened,
Yeah,
go on.
I take it upon myself to try and give you the fucking worst argument against orthodoxy you could possibly see. It's only 24 seconds. The man covers a lot of ground in a short amount of time.
While millions of people are converting to Eastern Orthodoxy, many of them do not realize that they're converting to a very depressing religion. Just take a look at the icons that they bow down to. Generally speaking, the people in those pictures look very sad. Usually they always have a frown on their face. They almost never have a smile. And so this is anti-Christian, while millions of people are...
What the fuck?
Dude, how fucking silly would it be if you put little smiles on all their faces? It would be so difficult to take it seriously. It wouldn't be moving. It wouldn't be solemn. That's the worst argument I've fucking ever
Can
heard.
you literally imagine like a smiling Orthodox icon?
With their
Right,
tiny,
like,
a little tiny smile.
It's supposed to look. Orthodox icons are mainly about the lives of the saints, and a lot of them had very tragic lives.
Yes.
Okay, it's meant to be like austere. It's meant to be like.
Yeah, it's sad. It's supposed to be like charismatic Christianity, right?
It's not. I wouldn't say it's sad. On the contrary, it's just
Deep,
right,
moving,
like,
meaningful.
Meaningful. Like stuff on Earth is bad, right? The flesh is weak. The flesh is mortal, right? Like, everyone is tempted to sin. Like, look, I just don't. I don't know, man. That's the weirdest shit I've ever like. The
worst argument.
Does he have like? I presume this is like a Protestant, okay, right?
Yeah.
And I don't recall like Catholic icons like smiling either, right? Quite frankly, I haven't seen like the smiling Mary of, fucking like whatever. It's meant to be serious.
This argument crumbles under a modicum of questioning, dude. You could do an easy half hour on that asking questions, but Fist, we are living in two different lands right now. Okay, I am here in the land of the free. Okay, it is illegal to be racist where you are. Okay. Speaking of God,
thanks for reminding me
really,
about that. I feel great.
Really fucked up when he made the blacks. So we're gonna do a racism test because we're going to be covering Shiloh Hendrix. Okay. Who not fully guilty but still guilty, which is still too guilty for saying a no word. So I'm just gonna show you this, okay? And you have to describe it not racistly afterwards, okay?
Okay.
Bismillah!
Excuse me. Okay, I have my notepad out, and please go. Have my glasses on. So go ahead. Tell me what you saw there.
What's quite interesting is the kid is the only one with the spoon, right? So he's clearly trying to ascend the civilizational ladder.
Very nice.
Do you wonder if maybe like 10, 20 years from now, right, he'll like move out of the hood into like a white neighborhood and be like, I never want to see those people again. Shit.
Yeah, maybe my white neighborhood that would allow him there. I don't know where else he's gonna go.
Yeah. I don't know. That's it's Africa, man, right?
Okay.
And why go to Africa when Africa can come to you? Now, of course, being in the UK, I am obliged to say that this is an example of a diverse behavior. That's awesome. We have so much to learn if you think about it, right? If anything, the kid with the spoon is a cultural traitor to his people, right? Like someone behind him should have smacked him upside the head and been like, "Don't you eat with a spoon?" That's what that white people. Shit,
I mean, let's not forget about burning the adults burning their hand on the very hot food. It's too hot to touch, right?
Yes,
Usually
hot
a child. In the white Western world, that we have an adage about a hand on a hot stove, and that's like the one time you learn. You learn after that, right? Apparently, not so much in different cultures.
I I wonder if these. At first, I would have said Somalia, but they're not quite. Their heads are not quite bulbous.
Correct.
Enough. So I think if pressed, I would say Nigeria. But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it say where this comes from?
No. Let me turn up the heat a little bit for this next one. Okay. So you did well. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
100% on that test. Now we're going to do this one. Now, I think we can all agree that this is possibly in the United States, right? Very probable. This one is now in the Western world, okay? So let me just continue. First, I now pass the left testicle back to you, and I'm eagerly awaiting your response as to what you would say you just saw in this video.
Well, obviously, this is a vibrant celebration of African communal culture.
Okay.
And this is why it's absolutely essential that there be so many of these people in America. Right?
Okay.
Whites, in contrast, would just be sort of sitting quietly, maybe reading a book or with like headphones on,
Plotting, stealing land.
And this kind of sterile culture is an atomized culture, right? You can go on a train and there's like white people, none of them are holding a dance circle, right? None of them are like doing voodoo, right? And this really speaks to the sort of sterility and isolation of white Western culture, as opposed to the sort of vibrant community cohesion that really typifies the African experience.
Well, wow. I want to hit you with my car, which means you pass with flying colors. Very good. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Now, here's an example, okay? Others out there, I want you to find your own voice when describing these issues, okay? This channel is about rhetoric. So here we have an example of how one can respond to these issues.
Here we are again, deep within the concrete savannah, where every evening begins with the sound of ballistic percussion interrupting what appears to be an urban hookah karaoke baby shower. Observe as the herd, startled by the passing burst of community spirit, stampedes through their artificial habitat, abandoning dignity as well as the communal hookah, in a remarkable display of panic rarely seen outside of clearance sales and EBT card malfunctions. Each urban noisemaker detonates with the nervous urgency of popcorn in a microwave, the anthem of a neighborhood that struggles with self-awareness and volume control. Amidst the chaos, confusion reigns as each participant rotates through the scene like a drunken exhibit in a museum of poor choices. At this point, half the crowd's misplaced a shoe, a phone, or a family member, priorities clearly ranked in that order. And yet somehow, as the smoke clears and against all odds, they'll still call it culture.
Excellent. So, Fist, you passed with flying colors. I would like to end this course now.
Wait. Before we do, right? Sure. I just want to reference the not the last clip, but the one before. Something struck me. I cannot quite comprehend why it is in these black populations, despite sort of living around violence all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever it kicks off, they always have this same look of surprise.
Yeah.
But I guess it's sort of surprise mixed with glee, I guess you'd like Like it's like, oh my god, who could have foreseen such as like, oh man, they're kicking off now. Like, who would have thunk it? I mean, I just like
they never think it's going to happen to them. And I mean, well, you've heard of the an invincible teenager, right? When you're young, you feel like you feel like you can't die. You're gonna live forever, and you think nothing bad's ever gonna happen to you. They never get past that teenage phase. It seems like even into adulthood.
No, that
never goes away.
No, that's not true, right? Like like so you see this in like the Caribbean blacks that you get here, right? Not all of them, but a significant portion of them.
Not all of them.
Once they hit about, I think it's about like 35 is like the magic age. They sort of like mellow out, right? Like the highest sort of danger zone is between like, I don't
That's
know,
what
I
yours
guess
are
like
like.
13 to 20 probably. You know what I mean, right? But if they survive to like an older age, a chunk of them do mellow out. I mean, not all of them, obviously, but yeah. All right. So I think I know what this clip is.
Absolutely. So yes, now let me just give you your little gold star on your little cheek.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You have now passed the course. Usually we look at some super chats first.
Do you know where that clip is originally from?
No, I don't.
Okay, so that clip is originally that's Prince Charles unveiling his satanic portrait, right? And I think it's like in like a Rothschild gallery or something like that. Oh my god, that's hilarious! Right, yes, super chats. Let's get in on it. Okay,
let's get freaky.
Let's get freaky with it. Parker Reed for $5. We will miss Fist after his last show. Who will be getting custody of the testy? That's actually very complicated and legal. It's working its way through the courts. As we speak.
It's going to be really painful to split that custody.
maybe you'll get like visitation rights.
Yeah, everyone always neglects the right one for some reason. That's the bastard.
Dissident Knight for $5 Australian. Thank you, mate. You can't exhale your cakery in a cloud of light crack smoke.
Yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can.
Sunday Matt for $5. Can you restart the heresy, please? I just got, heresy is always self-refreshing, mate. Don't worry. Just sit down. It's like a train on a loop. It'll be back shortly. Turn of Blackout painting for $20.
TVP.
Hey TVP, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Any church that has a full band with a drum kit and a loser with electric guitar is heretical Pentecostal nonsense. They're Mudeo-Christian nonsense. They're a relic of the Boomer Truth regime and absolute psyop. Yeah, I got to agree with you, right? Like to me, the only acceptable music in a church is a choir, right? No instruments, none of that like crap. And especially not like a band. And I have to tell you about the time I went to this, when I was still like trying to find Christianity, I went to this like Protestant church for like Easter. It was the worst thing I've like ever seen. They had two gay guys with a foam cage with the bars bent, and they were trying to explain the parable of the empty tomb about like a bunny called Fluffles that had escaped its cage. I didn't even know, like I just got really angry. I didn't even know like why. And anyway, right, they also had like a little band and stuff, right? And I was looking through the songbook that they give you, and every single song was written by a moo. I shit you not. I was just looking through it, and I was like, written by like Ben Goldstein and and I was like, this can't be good. Yeah. So thank you, TBP. Appreciate it, mate.
Thank you, mate.
New GM for $10.
And it's rocking everywhere.
Orthodoxy is very sad, just like the fellas when they realize we have no Ardy reading Quan Mill.
Oh my God.
And historically, only one restarted stream. Very sad. Very sad. Some say the saddest, not me, but some people say that. Quan Mills,
wild.
What a great American institution. My favorite one is that hoe got roaches in her crib. I wonder if Trump has ever done like a black accent. That would be freaking hilarious.
I don't think he can do any other accent than his own voice.
Oh, somewhere there must be audio of Trump doing a black accent. Oh, maybe.
Well,
maybe
this is why he doesn't do an impression of Rosie O'Donnell. He's like, she's fat, and that's it.
Sunday Mass for $5 in Catholicism. We have statues that worship statues. Beat that, orthodontist. I mean, look, you do raise a really interesting point about Catholicism and all the statues. I find it like a bit garish, but Catholicism did massively contribute to the rise of Italian Renaissance sculpture. And I love Bernini and Borromini and all of those. So, you know, I can't be mad at the Catholics, right? You know, it's not what I would choose, but I can't be mad at that. Cream Slinger for $10.
Oh, yeah, mate.
Is this Ardy and Fist or Animal Planet? Look, I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Ardy about that, mate. Right?
Hey man. You passed the class, okay? Don't make me give you another class. All right.
Mr. Blue for $5. The amount that social media has tanked black reputation is immeasurable. Good Lord. Yeah, I mean, just the fact that
there's so many clips, dude. There's an this is why Gavin McGinnis, Anthony Cumia have a weekly segment called Blacks Behaving Badly. I mean, it's an overwhelming amount of footage, and I mean, there's stuff that I try not to show on YouTube that's like really bad too. That's the fun stuff, is what I showed you. It gets way worse.
Basically, everyone getting cameras has just adjusted the way people see the world. You know, is the fundamental, like, you know, everyone's like, no. It's just that everyone has a camera now. So, you know, you don't have to go to the hood can come to you. And all of the lies that were enabled by the fact that people were sort of segregated, right? Like, you know, like the lie that, you know, reason why like the problem in the black community is because they didn't get enough gifts, and they was like oppressed after Martin Luther King died. Who the fuck was I like watching? Someone was like talking about, I think it was Hunter Biden, who was like talking about the death of Martin Luther King and was like sweeping for the riots. You know when people say like, oh, obviously, right, I deplore the violence, but you can kind of understand where they're coming from.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I directly took that from the BLM riots, and that's why when there's anything on the right, I go, I may not agree with it, but I mean, guys, I understand. I am doing that for the right for the rest of my life after seeing what they did with that.
You have to understand, right? That if people locked out of the system, then their grievance will take other forms. You know, Total Blackout Painting gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, mate.
Well, there, mate. Fellas, there's members only streams. There is a playlist as well for the Hard R lore videos that you can look up. Your month got a little bit weirder. Also, fellas, I have it on good authority. YouTube told me this, that you get a month free, okay? Your first month is free. Here's what you can do. You can sign up for a month. You can watch all my content, and then you can cancel it, because that's what I would do, okay? You can clear it out for an entire month, dude. Set it on your calendar.
Don't tell them the secret hack, mate.
Dude, no, but it's free. It's free for the first month. So they told me, YouTube told me to tell you that. So, yeah, terrific.
Camp of Saints 9mm, my favorite brand of 9mm, actually. Right, mate. Camp of Saints 9mm. It's like reliable, right? Always loads smooth, right? Never had like a misfire, never jams, right? Like, yeah, absolutely my favorite brand of 9mm. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, mate.
Yeah, mate. Remember when Vrilliam had Camp of Saints in his background for about a month and a half, and then he treats everything like a trend and he took it down? I remember that. That'll probably be covered tomorrow. Oh, thank you so much. It's much appreciated. The lore videos, fellas, 2017, 2018, 20... You want to see me debate blacks in 2019? Well, now you can. It's behind the paywall. Ordered chronologically.
Thank you very much. Isaac, member for 6 months. Oh, this is another one of these like ones I got to decode. These vids remind me that people of a certain persuasion are not peps. Save the white race. Plain back. We will make him proud. 1488. Something will happen. Blood and Square. Shiloh will be free. Look, she'll be free in.
She's already
just
free.
got community. She's just got community service. I mean, it's still a bad precedent, but
no,
you know.
Exactly. This is why it was important to support Chud, because we're just going to turn our backs and go, oh, you shouldn't say that. Then when you go to say it, they're going to like give you a day in jail and then 30 days in jail. And then you're like, oh, I should have been saying the N-word. Well, that's why I do it for us, fellas, okay? I don't do it for me. Think I enjoy calling black people the N-word as I drive by them at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday? No, I'm doing it for you, fellas, okay?
Did you say the N-word word?
Yes, that's what the guy says.
That video is like hilarious. And Frankensteak for $50.
Get these cheeks out of here! And fellas, just like that, we have our first Chad up the Chad.
And now the Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Thank you very much, Frankensteak,
so
for your girthy contribution. Ardy, have you noticed that Andrew Wilson's debate style comes from Medicare? He came from the blood sport scene, knows Ethan Ralph, and has the same tactics, including his critiques and the way he laughs and insults his opponents.
And so I did not get big into Mr. Medicare, and I don't know. There's going to be other internet historians that would probably contend with that and not agree with it. I don't know. Was Medicare known as a debater? I don't know. I'm going to have to do yellow light on that.
Medicare is like a bit before my time. But I don't
He's
know.
younger than
him and the crazy story of Ethan Ralph, which was explained to me like once. Oh wait, hang on. Before we go into Moo Watch, we have a meme from Arden Party.
Oh, you see? There you go.
Serious icon Jesus does not trust your smiling icon Jesus.
See how gimmicky that is? It doesn't feel. Well, here's the thing. People started smiling for pictures in like what 1963.
Yeah, that's true. That's if you look at early pictures, people did not do that. I mean, the Jesus on the left just looks like a cuck.
He looks like a cartoon character. It looks like a Saturday morning cartoon of Jesus. That's the vibe you want, right?
No, absolutely not.
No, you don't want to find one of those in your box of cereal?
I want serious Jesus. Right? It's a serious subject. He's a serious Jesus.
This shouldn't have to be explained, and I enjoy making you explain things that shouldn't have to be explained.
Okay. Right. So Moo Watch.
Moo Watch.
This is who's this guy? Kenneth S. Abramovitz, formerly of the Carlyle Group. Oh, great. Tells the 2026 Pulse of Israel conference. It's still going. Dude. Right? Conference season, it never ends.
Almost a year.
I wonder if you're like the right kind of person, whether you could just like basically live between these conferences. You know, right? Like just travel around the world. I mean, Israel and New York, basically, I guess. You know, just like back and forward, and just live at these conferences, you know? Stealing latkes, gorging yourself on Bagel and Schmear, right?
The Moos have been in New York since before we were America. Okay?
Yeah, I know. I know. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, they are still really against the First Amendment. Surprise, surprise. It is, in my opinion, very... I mean, okay, right? So they say, we're Americans. Like, no. Well, okay, to me... Okay, not an American, but if you ask me, I would say that the First Amendment, the ability to say whatever the fuck you want, is one of the primary qualities of America. It's what makes Americans American. And this guy, of course, he doesn't believe that.
We're still fighting the Amalekite War. Just the name of the Amalekites has changed over time. What are we supposed to do about this mess? Okay, we've only been fighting for 3,300 years.
Oh my God! I'm
Or
sorry.
if you
Pause
start
it.
with
Just
Abraham.
pause it. Right after. Imagine if there was a white conference where they were caught saying, "What should we do about this?" That would be played on a fucking loop.
Imagine if there was like a white conference, okay, and
I can't. It's too scary.
And they had like some weird name for their like eternal enemy, okay, that's basically a race. And then every single time they get into difficulty with anyone, they just like label them as that people and start like talking in like hushed tones about how we got to like wipe them all out. I mean, I'm just saying.
And we've been fighting for 3,800 years. So I have another slide. And the title of this slide is basically time to criminalize incitement to genocide. So you might want to say,
not actual genocide, right? As we will discuss. By the way, just a bit of an aside. The ICC, the International Criminal Court judge who brought the warrants against Netanyahu, has basically been, I mean, what is the word? Cancelled, I guess. Like, you know, when the moves move in and they like force you out of an organization and kill all your bank accounts and no. So they just cancelled the lead prosecutor of the International Criminal Court. Right?
How could such a small group of people do such a thing?
I know, literally with no power at all, right?
Why am I using this slide? Well, there's two ways to confront evil. There's more, but pretend there's two ways. One is directly, one is indirectly. The direct way to fight evil is to say we're fighting 21 wars. We're going to create a strategy for each of the 21 wars, the fronts. We're going to allocate the resources necessary to...
Wait, they're fighting 21 wars now?
And I love how he called them the fronts. Like what? The Liberation Front? All of those fronts from the commie days? I love it.
How are 21 war? Like, who else are they fighting a war with?
Why is how is such a small country fighting 21 wars? I mean, so what is that? That is 9 million people fighting a billion people.
They're like the Bonnie Blue of wars. They'll take on all comers.
Defeat the Reds, the Greens, and the Blues on 21 fronts. Well, that's very expensive, needless to say. And all democracies are undereducated. In other words, they have no clue in terms of knowledge because nobody wants to educate them. And everyone, as we say in America, all democracies are fat, dumb, and happy. And everyone just wants to have a good life. They don't want to hear about 21 wars. They don't want to hear about Reds, Greens, and Blues. They don't want to hear
Reds, Greens, and Blues.
Yeah, this is a new development right now, right?
I'll have to do some more chismo on that. I'll check back with you guys.
About doubling national security spending. They basically want subsidies for themselves. So that's the direct way to confront these bad guys. Now, there's an indirect way in that all the Reds, Greens, and Blues hate Jews. They're all anti-Semitic. They all hate God.
Pause it.
They all hate.
Is that red the right, blue the Democrats, and green the leftists?
I mean, I guess
only my brain can contextualize it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would be, I guess, the way like a normal person would think of it. But you know, there's layers to this stuff. So you know, for all we know, it could be some thing from like the Talmud about like or they could be referencing the Greens and the Blues in like the Byzantium like chariot races. Like for all I know, I'm just saying, right? Like
morality. They all hate the rule of law. So if you could criminalize incitement to genocide, you could in effect put a lot of bad guys in jail without actually confronting them on the 21 issues that we're facing.
Okay.
Yeah, there are 21 issues, so not actual wars. Okay, but we have a number.
Okay. And do you not? This is the thing that like just amazes me, right? They never seem to like think about the backlash that this will cause, right?
Well, no, they do.
They're just like,
people on the left are saying that they are now trying to get anti-Semitic things happening to them so they can call it anti-Semitism. This is being called out now on both sides, by the way, this strategy. They want ire. It's the only way they know how to survive.
Wait. Okay, so Master Shake, who is the kind of person who knows, says the red, green, and blue are the three parties. Left is Meretz, the center is Yish, and the right is Likud. that can't be what he's talking about, though, surely, because he's referencing outlawing these things in America. I don't know, mate. Thanks, Master Shake.
Now, I came up with this idea due to...
He came up with this idea of jailing people for criticizing the moose. Oh, wow. I've never heard that before. Like, oh, for God's sake.
Someone that President Trump often mentions, Al Capone. Al Capone was a famous criminal gangster in the 1925-30 period of time. And he was guilty of anything a gangster can do. But he went to jail for tax evasion. They didn't actually do a trial and say, oh, you killed this person, you stole this money, you did this evil thing. No, they just took all the evil that he did and said, you never told the Internal Revenue Service that you were stealing all this money and you didn't pay taxes on it. So they arrested him for tax evasion and put him in jail. Incitement for genocide is the equivalent of arresting Al Capone for tax evasion. Wasn't his real crime. His real crime was all the people he killed and all the money he stole. But the after effect was that he could be declared guilty for tax evasion. So just to summarize this in like 1 minute, go down the left of the page, and I have copies of this. If some of you want them, come up to me and I'll give you a copy. So, for example, when someone says from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, that's a euphemism for killing everyone in Israel. That's incitement.
They mighty is the sword of whoever gets to decide what words mean. When can we decide what our words mean, right?
Yeah, this is definitely not going to like backfire horribly.
But what is this audience?
Look at all the stuff that they want to like ban, right? So globalize the Intifada, they want to ban that. Free Palestine, they want to ban that. BDS, they want to ban that. Al Jazeera, they want to ban it, right?
We've already had that in Texas, where like some of the funds had to go toward Israel, and then calling that out. You can't call that out. So that's happened in areas of the government here. Actually, PF Young called it out, yeah.
They want to ban the 12 Shia. And they want to ban Sharia. I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not necessarily against that.
And well, this is how they get you. See?
Yeah, right. Like, oh, look, you're like on board. You don't like Islam, right? You know, we'll just take some of your rights as well. It's like, whoa, hold on, right?
Genocide. I think you should go to jail for that. Globalize the Intifada. That's what the mayor of New York City, a criminal, foreign agent, illegal citizen who should be arrested and deported, he believes in number 2. Number 3, free Palestine. Again, that means free Palestine of Jews and replace it by criminal terrorists, death cults. BDS, boycott, divestiture, or sanction. There's nothing Israel can do to protect itself. That's really calling for the annihilation of Israel. Al Jazeera, which is supported by Qatar, which itself is a criminal death cult, has their own death cult news station. Why didn't we close that down? Holocaust denial to fund the police. 12.
This is such boomer.
What is a mooish holiday like with these people? How is this guy at Thanksgiving? Oh my dear
This
Lord.
is such a boomer take. Like does he not stop and wonder like how many people this is? Like I guess not, right?
We already determine all the time that boomers are like incapable of changing their mind. Now imagine a fucking mooish boomer. How hard that mind is to change.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Shiite believers in Sharia law. These are all, to me, should be forbidden.
Oh, it's funny. He wants to ban blasphemy laws and yet institute blasphemy laws.
It's poetic. It really is poetry.
Oh, mate, the symmetry is amazing.
They should be criminalized. They all call for the deaths of millions of people, and they're all the words of various death cults. And we, the people who are free, have no responsibility to allow death cults to run free in our country or in our world. Let me just conclude with a quick thought. The forces of evil are good at being evil. The forces of good are bad at being good. We have to close the gap between good and evil. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic. Now, to give you an idea, right? Like, okay, so this guy, I think his name is like Austin Franco. Okay, you may remember this dude. I think
yes,
this previous, right? He had the audacity to say that he didn't want to work for a moo. Okay, and they're still pursuing him. If you can freaking believe it, right? This cancel shop this is like Mooish Council Shop, Accuracy in Media. They're still going after him. I guess he still has a life, right? And hasn't been reduced to complete penury and homelessness yet. So, you know, and so they've gotten someone to do like a hidden camera thing, and like
it's very widespread among the younger generation. Like all the kids in the office, we joke about the Jews.
Really?
Yeah, they're all racist. So it's like, don't worry.
Oh, it's a lady. Oh, a 19-year-old man, a lady's talking to him about the moose.
Anti-Semitism on a college campus. Accuracy in Media will make sure that everyone knows about it at your commencement.
My buddy's on there.
Who's your buddy?
Matt.
Fernandez?
Yeah.
Does he not love the Jews a whole bunch? What do you think?
What do you think?
We might visit your future employer to
Who's
make
that,
sure
Vish?
they know exactly the type of bigot that they hired. Devaboy's hired two of...
no way, that was Vish, right?
No, I'm just kidding. See, I got you. I fucking got you to think it was. Sorry,
Columbia's
Vish.
leading anti-Semites, despite signing a pledge saying they wouldn't.
No, that sucks.
What do you think about that?
Disgusted.
People on your campus, in your community, and on social media deserve to know who the anti-Semites are. And when people reach out and offer support, they might
I'm
just
sorry,
be
pause
Accuracy
it.
in
Do we
Media.
have a word for people that hate white people across the West that we can't get like anti-white? None of it can stick culturally, corporately, or governmentally. Anyone else find that weird at all?
Don't be silly. You can't be racist towards white people, right? I've read the literature. Doesn't even exist, bro.
the literature.
The literature, yeah.
Hidden camera investigator. This is Austin Franco. He's a rising junior at Cornell, and he went viral after telling a potential employer that he was, quote, not interested in working for a Jew. Rather than apologizing or lying low, Austin doubled down on his
Rather than apologizing
or laying low, he was like called out directly by his name. They're skipping that part. Do you see that?
Semitism.
So hold on. So if you just get your information from them, he said, no, I'm not interested in working for a moo. And then he went to social media and went, haha, I'm going to tell everybody that. It wasn't like he was responding to what's been said to him.
Yeah.
He raised tens of thousands of dollars for his racist views. Today, Austin thinks he's
they're a race.
Kindred spirit, another anti-Semite.
Yeah, they're a bit like women. They're a race or religion, depending on like
a
what
bit?
is their purpose. Yeah, a bit.
In fact, he's meeting with a hidden camera accuracy and media investigator.
It might not have been the smartest thing to say.
Yeah.
But the reaction was like overwhelming. Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Not equal to what I said. I mean, I thought I was being nice, saying this is why I don't work.
Yeah.
I mean, most employers are just like, sorry, we can't hire you.
Yeah.
We've had a bunch of competitive applicants. They don't for a specific reason.
Yeah.
At least you know.
Yeah. Are you still currently registering for now?
Yes.
Has there been any backlash from your school? Has the school responded in any kind of?
Just the one notice, and their advocacy team reached out as well.
I mean, this
But
has to.
as
How
of
does
now,
he
they said
not
there's nothing
know
to-
that this is like a reporter or something, dude? Are you still registered there? Who is he talking to?
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Going on their back end? I think because I didn't say anything that could be classified as hateful, there wasn't really a leg they could go on.
Yeah. Give Sam go. Like for that, have you already like received the money for that?
Yeah, I received some already.
Okay, cool.
So it's like $25K.
Franco had some interesting theories to share with us.
That's the
Interesting.
problem I have. I'm going to Cornell, applying for all these jobs. The only thing I'm getting is unpaid internships working for Jews. Pretty much only Jews, actually.
Yeah.
The company I was working at prior was also run by Jews. Yeah, that's why I got fired. I got fired. You just have to look at the cards on the table and realize there's no way you're getting in power. I mean, unless you want to wear the little hat, right?
Yeah.
It's the wall, right? I mean, yeah.
Is he wrong?
Well, this is what they do. They put the information in front of you, and then they demonize the person. They don't say he's lying, he's incorrect, that's not true.
Yeah. This is classic phase one.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like tactic.
Like the Holocaust stuff, you can go on Substack to look up that. Same thing with Jews. Was it The Noble Trader?
Yeah.
He's a good
Oh
one.
my God!
Okay.
Pause
I don't
this.
know if I believe everything.
I'm nervous to show it on stream. Did you see Owen Benjamin post the 1968 encyclopedia and how it doesn't have the holly, but it has Palestine?
I did not.
And he's like, let's look it up, and there's no mention of the holly in the 1968 Encyclopedia Britannica, I believe. And then he looks up Palestine, and Palestine's defined. So Palestine was defined before the holly was called the holly.
Yeah. I mean, you're not allowed to say that, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's basically reached prominence in the early to mid 70s.
Correct.
Is my understanding. Yeah.
says, but
Yeah.
it's interesting to me.
Give me an example.
So like IQ differentials between like blacks, whites, Asians, and Jews.
Yeah.
Same thing with like running. Like, you know, black
Listen to
people
the
better at
music.
running,
Yeah.
right? Now, nobody has a problem saying that because it's not rude to say.
Yeah.
Right. But when you say you attribute something that's negative, they lose their shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you just have to accept that. Like, have you played Fallout?
Yes.
Like, okay. Like,
Played
you have the stat
Fallout.
bar,
Yeah.
right? Like, you can max out intelligence, but you're not going to be able to max out strength. It's
Yeah.
the same thing here, right? You have to
Okay.
you have to make sacrifices within each race
Mhm.
and you know, within the bell curve for what you want.
Employment opportunities. What would be kind of your area?
Something in politics.
Oh.
I love it.
Oh, mate, good luck with that. Gonna be like,
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Hey, if Fuentes is making a bid in the future, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people. I mean, now it's going to be a badge of honor. I think the way they try and
It
attack
is.
people for what they've said. You know, I
Mhm.
think the tides are definitely shifting.
This is quite funny. This isn't a video, but this is just like a post. This is a Chabad rabbi. He's like tearing strips of Shmuley, Rabbi Shmuley. It is totally prohibited and unacceptable for Orthodox moves to hear someone like Shmuley Botiek speak, since his views on many issues are against Torah and Halakha. For any Orthodox move to promote his lecture is a Chilul Hashem and a Chilul Hatorah V'Lalakha. And we got to finish off.
Oh boy,
I need the sound for this.
you really like this Floyd. You like her a lot. I think you like her.
It's so annoying. Wait, where is it?
Stinky Yentas?
So this is Jennifer Welch. Oh, she's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Check it out.
And I stand by it. The homeschooling that I was referring to is the crazy Christian homeschooling. It is trickle-down stupidity. You have to be dumber than a box of hot rocks to sit down with your kids and teach them that dinosaurs and man lived on the planet at the same time, that the Earth is 5,000 years old, and on and on. But more than anything, the reason they're melting down so much
Give him HRT.
is homeschooling is inherently patriarchal, and it is a huge push of the fascist project because it keeps women at home. And over.
Oh, for God's sake.
Stinky.
She's never gonna learn, is she?
Wait, I've lost the window. No! Where's the window gone? Oh, for God's sake. Here it is. Wait.
Yeah.
Sorry.
90% of all homeschooling parents are the mother. You know, they don't want women to be out in the workforce to make their own money and have independence so they can divorce their piece of shit closet case husbands when they find out.
Oh,
they
that
want the
sounds
women at
very
home,
specific.
Dead ass broke, homeschooling the kids. This is a patriarchal step of the fascist project. And I will just say to Brian Kilmeade and Tommy Lahren, do you homeschool your kids? Do you do that with a full-time job? What do? Do you do it at night? Do you start at 8 p.m. and end 1, 2 a.m.? Is that how your family values go? So if you don't homeschool your kids, shut the fuck up, you two. And to the Fox News producers, have fun watching my show. It's pathetic. You should be covering this fascist regime and this fascist takeover and not some podcaster, as per Tommy, that people just watch for entertainment.
If she has a husband or an ex-husband or an ex-boyfriend that's in jail for beating the shit out of her, I have an idea for a GoFundMe. That's all I'm saying.
Nuremberg trials will come.
Like, that is what like a toxic woman sounds like that you're stuck living with, like a girlfriend. That kind of just constant coming at you. That feels very familiar.
Also, a second Goyslop has hit the tower.
What?
Look at this, man, right? What timeline are we living in?
That's crazy.
And Shapiro is like, you know, right? Now this is obviously a reply to like Carlson.
I know, but they're leaning into it, which means they have to. They're leaning into it because they can't run from it, right?
Yeah. Now we're not going to cover the war tonight. Probably like next episode. Stuff's happening, but whatever is happening in the war, you can be sure Benny Boy is thrilled about it.
I get why people are confused and upset. It feels like things are stalemated, that they're getting broader and more difficult. Why? Well, because what the American people want is victory. There's this bizarre notion in
yes,
victory
Ben
for our people.
Shapiro, spokesman of the American people.
Yeah, he's just as American as anybody else, but he also has publicly said that he would run to Israel if he had to.
No. He's much more American than you are, Ardy. Right?
Yes.
He can tell you what the American people want. unlike you, right? Do you have the insight of Ben Shapiro-Stein? Okay?
Yeah, I mean,
So, like,
what he's wearing is just as good as a cowboy hat, right?
Foreign policy. That the American people are deeply worried about the immediate cost of war to the enemy. That the American people, that we can't handle the ugliness of war for even a day. That every conflict has to be totally antiseptic. And here I'm not even talking about the
antiseptic.
Right. Is he watching the stream? What the fuck was that? That was different.
American willingness to undergo casualties. No one in America wants American casualties. It's tragedy and a horror. We do understand that war does come along with casualties, and we are willing to undergo those casualties in pursuit of an end and a victory for America. But as far as the idea that, for example, America, we can't hit Karg Island because the Iranian people would then be deprived of oil resources. The American people are, I should say, not particularly concerned about that. We are far more concerned with why we're there not winning. I think, though, we actually...
The American people aren't concerned about that. You know, just trust me, bro, right? I've got the American people on speed dial.
We ought to do is
so
say an eye for
the chat
everything.
is asking if his hat got bigger. I am not kidding. The more kids you have, the bigger the hat gets. I am almost positive I'm not making that up. So
Yeah.
I think he has 4 or 5 kids. The more kids, the bigger the hat. I'm not making
You
some sort of
touch a ship
backhanded
in
joke.
Strait of Hormuz, and we kill the head of the IRGC. We kill Khalibaf. We kill your entire leadership class. Again, we destroy South Pars and we destroy Karg. One drone, and that's what happens. That is the way you win in the Middle East. By the way, that's the way you win generally.
He almost said in the Middle East. No. In general, that's how you win.
Yeah, that's how you win in the Middle East, right? And so Tucker's like, obviously, this little freak could go and volunteer to fight the war himself, but of course he won't. Yeah, but look, this is always a thing in war. The people who are like pushing it are never the ones that are going to actually like die on the front line. It's depressing. Okay, shall we? Wait, hang on. Let's do some more super chats. We can go on
Soupies
to
to
Shiloh.
Shiloh, baby. You got some good coverage on that, boy.
Yes, we do.
Fist done learnt me some stuff in that case today.
All right, Sunday Mass for $5. Thank you, mate.
Thank you, bro.
The Amalekite order, isn't that the clan that God condemned for attacking the Israelites in the desert in the book of Exodus? Yeah, I think so. The Amalekites are just essentially a placeholder for whoever the moves happen to be like beefing with at any particular time. So when they start saying that a group is Amalek, that generally means they're looking to go medieval on them pretty much. Matty Ice for $20. Thank you very much,
Matty, baby.
They treat the American experiment as though it is an experiment on how much humiliation and evil you can endure. When a lib tries to abstract an explanation that allows for them to appreciate the country, free speech is everything. Well, I agree.
Absolutely.
And it is one of the great qualities of America. Well, not according to that guy, obviously. You see, you can have a bit too much free speech. Wouldn't you rather use your free speech to criticize Islam?
They're so legalistic where, it's free. Hey, you're allowed to do that, but that doesn't mean that I can't do so. It does mean that. This is what? You're a slave, but doesn't mean you can't try to leave. There's the consequence begins to override the cultural spirit of the sentiment. For having a penalty for what you're saying. That's the point of free speech, is that you're not penalized.
No, well, this is an old legal concept, right? There's the spirit of the law and there is the letter of the law.
Yes.
And the letter of the law can undermine the spirit of the law. You know, something I was thinking of the other day, you notice how no one talks about justice anymore? Not in the way that people used to. Okay?
20 years ago, yeah.
Justice used to be seen as this higher ideal that was higher than man. Now no one talks about justice.
It's just power.
It's just what you can get away with, basically. I think that's a very, very bad development. Thanks, Matty.
I actually think it's a good development. It's accelerationist when you think about it.
I guess. Sunday Math again for $5. We better give him anything. He's been.
I can't tell you no, mate. I can't tell the other possessor of my left testicle no. You know that.
Some Austrian guy asked me for a glass of juice, but he was really angry and gave me a cordless hole puncher. What juice should I get him? I don't know.
A cordless hole puncher.
I don't know, maybe a sort of apricot guava mix, like something fancy,
That reminds me, I got to upgrade my hole puncher. Mine still has to plug in.
Is it not $5 foreign agent, the most pottest of screaming N at Kettle? Gungan supremacist for 14 Canadian dollars.
There he is, mate.
Thanks very much. They always say they are surrounded by enemies and that everyone hates them, but never ask why that is. It must be just for the vibes, since the chosen ones didn't do nothing. Yeah, indeed, and I think that's where the blacks learned it from. Quite frankly, right? This whole
it was taught to them. It was eugenically programmed into them by people like this.
Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault.
I promise you it's real. That's really Randy Fine really saying that. I would never lie to you about such a thing, okay? Now, they've tried having us love them, okay?
They tried the love us thing for about 3,000 years. Didn't work.
I love that one.
It's time to...
Now they're really going to be shitty, yeah.
It's time to unleash the angry moo. Deep Calm for $10. Thank you very much, mate.
How are you there, mate?
It's going to be so satisfying to see the moves slowly pushed out more and more as time goes on, like a spoiled kid who is burning through their inheritance and is finally about to get what's coming. I mean, they are undermining their goodwill at a truly prodigious rate. I got to say,
how are they going to make it go back to how it was, though? What are they going to do now?
Well, my theory on that
memory wipe.
My theory on that is World War III. And that this orgy
did it last time, right? And they only got one trick, don't they?
Yeah, and this orgy of bloodletting will power the next iteration of the Goy Beam. That's my
poetic.
That's my thought on it. Yeah,
nice.
Jam for $5. So no second day.
Yeah, dude. He's talking to this broad about the moves, and it's like, this fucking chick's awesome. Yeah, registered here. Yeah, here's my social, here's my phone number. Yeah, she's talking about the moves. I don't give a shit.
Flavius Agonicius for $10.
There he is, mate.
The Shabbos beam has broken through my tinfoil hat, mate. You gotta double wrap your dome. If
Tengu!
you gotta double wrap that dome. Buford Justice for $50.
Looks like we got some company over here for the fucking Chad of the Chad.
And now the Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Wow, thank you.
Why are they calling us neo-Yazis? I'm just a regular Yazi. You're a traditionalist, is what you're saying.
honestly, when you hear what Mustache Man said, okay? Here, just to make it softer for you, listen to James Lindsay read Mein Kampf. Okay? A guy that doesn't want it to be true, okay? Even he can't make it sound fucking incredible.
Yeah, true. Wait, I've lost my place. What am I doing?
Gonna happen.
There we go, right? Yep, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Sunday Math for $5. How dare that dumbass blonde blaspheme homeschooling and promote divorce? This is Blancophobia. Ooh, I like that. Blancophobia. Classy. She is talking out vengeance for her ex on all whites.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. This feels like... She had a really specific example. Yeah, and then how your fucking husband...
Yeah.
Going hanging out with his fucking friends.
No, but this is also like this psyop that was like launched in the 50s. The idea that in every quiet American community behind the white picket fences, right? Everyone's like secretly gay and trans and, popping pills and blah, 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 Stepford wives, all this like crap.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Green Moon for 50 knock. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay,
Are the moves the subconscious reason we now have the term cognito hazard? Are the moves a cognito hazard? I don't know. I mean, certain ideas are certainly cognito hazards. But then you get into the problem of you need someone to do censorship. And unless the people doing that have incredible wisdom and morals, it's going to like wind up bad. And quite frankly, I don't see anyone like that, despite the fact that there are definitely cognito hazards out there. I mean, just look at the trans thing. You know,
Right.
And Jose Alva for $10.
How are you going to be
it's the
pro-white?
Jose. Oh my God! Sorry.
Hit the wrong button, did you?
Yes, sir.
Nasally voice on Sheila. This stream gives me really bad gas. Can you please restart the stream?
Oh, that gas is terrible.
Yes, sir.
Right, hang on, wait, we got one more.
more.
Just John, please, for $10. Thank
Oh,
you very
Bob.
much, mate. I will donate $40 next payday if Ardy reads Sanhedrin 59, and then immediately Baba Meziev 114 romsafera.com live.
This is way above my pay grade. I don't know what these things are. I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, Sanhedrin 59, if I recall, is
Yeah.
one of the passages from the Talmud
Yeah.
that talks about the Gentiles, and
Right.
not in a very flattering light. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shocking.
put it that way. Yeah, shocking.
Somebody,
I know, right?
somebody should show everyone that. They should talk about that publicly in society.
So we'll move on to Shiloh.
Yes,
shall
sir.
we? Right. Oh, hang on. So I hate how you can't zoom in the window. Anyway,
you should be able to if you make it not full screen, and then you can zoom in. So if you make it not full screen, and then you should have the option.
No, it doesn't. It
fill the
doesn't work
window.
on mine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Shiloh Hendrix has been pronounced sort of guilty, basically, right? Just to give you sort of the summary, she was found not guilty of what's the actual charge? Like, being distressing,
Disorderly conduct.
Yeah, towards
That's so
the-
funny. You
Yeah.
thought we have laws about distressing people. That is so UK of you.
Well, isn't this basically what she just got done for?
No, it's threatening or fighting words. It was what it would be filed under. I don't think you can get in trouble for distressing someone in my country. But I don't know. It's changing so quickly.
Yeah, you just keep being a smart ass, Ardy.
Yeah, the spirit of the law is the same, but the words are different, right?
Yeah, basically, right? Okay. So on the charge of being, what did you say? Harassing? I don't know, right? Like saying the forbidden word, doing the forbidden move towards the child in question. She was dismissed, but she was convicted for saying the forbidden word to the Somali man who got arrested for grape and stuff like that. Check it out.
One guilty verdict and one not guilty verdict. That's the decision from jurors last night in the case against Shiloh Hendrix. Our Kebeti Matumba has been following this case from jury selection all the way to the verdict. She has more from outside the courthouse.
After nearly 10 hours of deliberation, the jury finally handed down a verdict, with Hendrix being found guilty for her conduct related to the bystander who...
This is the reporter. They got to follow the trial.
Yeah. What? How would you rather it wouldn't be an American? All I see is an American here. My fucking country told me that as long as you're just born, you could be an alien, a Martian. You could be a Martian and still be a fucking American citizen.
Of course.
Viral video, not for her conduct related to the child. Following the verdict, Wale Elegbede, the president of the Rochester branch of the NAACP, briefly spoke to the media.
So this is important, right? This whole case was basically pushed by the Rochester NAACP, essentially, right?
Yes.
Sort of private. Well, it's NGO prosecution. They're not a private organization. They're not technically government. They have access to the resources of government, but they're not bound by the rules of
Parallel structure.
Comfy place to be, mate.
Saying while the verdict wasn't exactly what he had hoped for, he's happy that Hendrix will face some consequences.
Just so frustrated, in regards to that.
What's the crime?
But she is going to have something on her record for the crime that she's committed.
You a homo?
The defense attorney, Brian Corrales, then addressed the media, calling the court proceedings unfair, claiming that the boy's father was lying on the stand and was still benefiting from the GoFundMe that was set up to support the family
White
following
supremacist.
the incident.
Shire Jamali had a GoFundMe page, $340,000. He testified that it was done in May last year, done. That's not true.
But Olegbede pushed back on those claims, saying the original GoFundMe was created by the NAACP and not the Jamali family. He explained that a second GoFundMe was
Pause
created
it.
by people.
Can you imagine if an organization created a GoFundMe for a... So okay, let me get this straight. So individual whites, they get in trouble for doing GoFundMe for another white, but an entire organization just because of the color of his skin, when you think about it, right? What else would it be? What else would it be? They would rather, the NAACP would rather defend a non-American black than an American white. Like, they are pro-blacks globally, not just black Americans, right?
Now, this is the GoFundMe that he's talking about. Apparently, according to the lawyer, there is another GoFundMe still live. Why don't we search for it, shall we?
Ooh, all right. We're calling audible right now, huh? Okay.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of live autism, shall we?
They're not ready.
Here we go. Here we go. Family of impacted child for Shah Hussein Jamali.
Impacted.
It's still live. It's still live, right? Help us with caring for our child and seeking accountability. So there's like, 8.5K.
200 wants 250,000. Incredible.
Yeah. Well, after a traumatic experience like that, the child requires like a lot of care.
It was so traumatic. The child went from age 5 to age 9 in a few months.
Yeah, amazing. Like that shit'll like age you, man. I'm telling you, right? That's why it's the forbidden word.
Pretending to be the Jamali family, and that the NAACP worked with GoFundMe to pause and reclaim the account in order to get the money to the Jamalis.
Mr. Jamali had no idea.
The Jamalis.
The second GoFundMe was basically that was a transfer, and that's why his name was there. So, and these are things that you can verify with GoFundMe, and we have all the receipts.
ABC6 asked Corrales about Hendrix's online fundraising page.
What about Miss Hendrix' Gifts and Go, where she got, from what I understand,
Don't care. Not part of the trial.
Oh, yeah, dude.
He's charged with a crime.
The defense says they plan to file an appeal.
You can watch the full press conference
What
on social media pages. In Rochester, Kabiri Mutamba, ABC6 News.
That guy's kind of like Jesus incarnate.
Summit today, which is aimed at.
It kind of has a Jesus nose a little bit.
Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so
doesn't matter. You see, that's what. Wow, that guy right now is telling all the whites, "Come to me." Okay, I will help you.
If you search for Shiloh Hendrix, there's one here, Protect My Family, that's got like, I presume that's like a recent 9K, right?
Whoa,
that's a lot less than 200K.
No, that's not real. That's not her. Her original one was like 840,000.
We've got another one from the NAACP.
Yeah,
that's got 4,700.
Asking for 350,000.
And that's it. Yeah. So there's two up. Okay, right. So, shall we watch the horror that was in fact that triggered this entire saga?
Yeah, let's get it over with. Let's do it. Help my channel, please.
The child? Did you call the child the nigga?
Whoa, hey, buddy, come on. Huh? Hey, whoa. Did you say the N-word word? Yeah, that's what you were saying earlier.
Did you say the ninja word?
Hey, did he call her the cunt word?
My own business. You call him a nigger? Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
Fuck you, nigger.
Okay.
Hey, okay.
All right, that's what
There
you
you
say.
go. Look, it's a Snickers bar. Right, yeah.
Nobody dig into your shit. That little kid, you call him a nigger? The little child?
It's this struggle session.
Chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5
It is
year
a
old
right.
nigger,
It's
the N-word.
actually a right.
That's what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
That's a hate speech.
Oh, you did a hate speech. Oh, fucking.
I don't know who I hate more, the Somali or the Jamali.
Just like They just look. You just reel these words out, right? Whites will do whatever you want, and if they don't do whatever you want, if they protest, you can take them to court.
Motherfucker, you're a foreigner in my fucking country. Why does this only happen in white countries where foreigners can come here and try and bully the fucking people in the host country? That fucking odd to anybody?
No reason. Look, don't think about it, Ardy. Right? Like, there's no.
Fuck you. I'm
reason.
thinking about it right now, and I'm not gonna lie. The thoughts aren't very nice, Fist. Okay?
You can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh?
Okay, we'll see about that. What the internet has to say about you. You call him.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
He seemed really afraid, right?
Oh,
he
so
seemed really
afraid.
scared.
He was shaking in his boots. This is the man in question. Now, I mean, look, he looks like a really normal dude. I don't know why you possibly feel in any way like threatened by this guy. You know,
well, but I mean, think about it with any other alleged crime where like that should be viewed as antagonization, where he's following her around, telling her to do something again. I mean, that would be antagonization, especially like toward a woman. There's no intent. She loses any of her female status in this situation. He has to be, the black man has to be afraid of the white woman holding a child.
Listen, Ardy, right? You're being far too stereotypical. Okay, right? This guy, Omar, right? They picked up a 16-year-old girl.
Oh wow, they're getting older. Usually they're Allah says 9 years old. They're improving at least. Almost
he's very flexible, right? She looked a lot younger than she was. Okay, you understand?
It's not his fault.
Right?
Yes, thank you.
And clearly, this girl was lying, obviously, right? Because how could someone like that ever do anything wrong? Okay, I've read critical race theory, right? So the girl was kidnapped allegedly by him and his brother at a gas station. They raped her for 2 days. She was found sleep deprived, dehydrated, and had not eaten recently, according to the nurse that examined her. They found her glasses in the trailer. She identified them perfectly in a lineup. Then, in the middle of the case, prosecutors discreetly dropped charges with no explanation and no oversight. In the
Hold on,
interest
you
of
cut out a little bit. Can you just read from then in the middle of the case again?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Then,
fine.
in the middle of the case, prosecutors discreetly dropped charges with no explanation and no oversight. In the interest of justice.
Justice. That's that justice thing you were talking about.
This was 1 month before the Shiloh Hendrix incident. During the Shiloh Hendrix trial, we find out that Omar's son, who is actually 9, even though it was claimed he was 5, I thought he looked a bit older than 5, already wears an ankle monitor because his father lets him wander off and steal things.
Oh my god!
As is expected, the father faced no consequences for this.
Do you think the little ankle monitor was made by like Fisher Price, like a little toy company? Like my first ankle monitor. There's already memes about this.
Oh my god! So yeah, basically, I mean, like we all know how this goes, right? Like it's, you know, any excuse basically.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when I was 5, I had white privilege. I would just run around and steal stuff, and nothing would happen to me. You know, with my white privilege.
The NAACP, of course, spun all of this up, right, in support of the sort of like random black guy. Why? Because he's black. But don't you dare, okay, anyone listening, don't you dare support whites based upon their race. Okay, that's very, very, very bad. Okay, only other ethnic groups get to do that. Okay,
I heard it'll turn you into a racist.
Yes, absolutely. Now this. Sorry, go on.
I'm just curious. I want to see like the picture of this big American action figure chinned Chad of a judge that would let this happen.
Oh, I believe I do have a picture actually of this.
Who is this masculine chud that made this mistake? Okay, God knows it wouldn't be some stupid, pudgy, soft-bellied. Oh no, Fist, keep going. God, hurry.
Why do I not?
I'm running out of adjectives.
Why do I not? Oh my god, it's
just
missing.
Play this and you'll find it. Play this and you'll find it.
Right. Okay.
Were you ever concerned at all about the judge's warnings over?
AJ Styles over here took a chair shot the
Sure,
night
as
before.
you screamed at me in front of the jury, that'll be on appeal. Yeah. Judge's decorum, screaming at a lawyer out loud in front of the jury? Yeah, I was concerned.
She claimed to imply that the court was dumber than a law student.
Didn't say that. She said that.
He's cutting a promo.
Yeah, weird, right? She said that, not me.
Anything else you think your people should know?
Do your job. Be better. Be better. Be more fair. Get rid of your woke shit. That's what I would say.
Oh yeah,
Were
dude.
you ever concerned at all about
This
the
guy.
judge's warnings over?
You gotta pause it here. This is only 30
Should I
seconds.
just
It's not the
stream
8-minute clip.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this one's only 30
Right.
seconds. Yeah.
Wait, that's only 30 seconds.
Yes, 38 seconds.
Oh,
How long that clip is.
Me, I am all over the freaking place.
Dude,
today.
this guy is cutting promos right now to let all the whites know, come to me and I will defend you. That's what he's doing. I would love to follow this guy and see what other cases he has his hands in.
Right. So this is the. I can't find the picture of the judge. It's disappeared from my stack. I don't
you'll be
I don't
able
know
to
what
find it pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
I will. Okay, so I'll play this.
What's
Yeah.
your reaction to the verdict today?
I think it's pathetic. I think it's sad. I think it's sick. I think shocked. I've never had a trial where they keep people. This is a misdemeanor, by the way, till 10:30 at night. Never even heard of that one before. Most courts, most counties, what they do is around 4:30, 5 o'clock is they say, okay, we're going to send the jurors home. They got kids, they got families, they got things to do. Nope, we're keeping them. I've never heard of that before. So that alone, I know this is a thing, I guess, Olmsted County, they do this. I thought that was bizarre. But the verdict itself, let's make something clear here. Let's make something very clear. She's acquitted, not guilty, right? Not guilty with the child. The state reads a 5-minute victim impact statement about the child. She's acquitted about the child. She's convicted on the count involving the cameraman, who they never called to testify. Keep this in mind. They never called the cameraman to testify. This judge prohibited us from telling the jury that Shire Jamali, had a GoFundMe page, $340,000. He testified that it was done in May last year, done. That's not true. There's a link on the bottom of the page that goes to another open account. My investigator hit the link last night, donated $10. It's open. You can donate right now. You can donate right now to Shire Jamali's GoFund page right now. It's open. He testified under oath and perjured himself. He perjured himself over and over and over and over again. This was without any stretch of the imagination. It was like I was fighting the prosecutor and the judge. It was like I'm taking on.
Sorry?
Is he even a citizen?
I have no idea.
Right?
Honestly, right? I mean, I have no idea, but doesn't matter. This is the judge.
Wow. Ooh, that is the least surprising thing I've seen.
Apparently,
she's doing the smile that lady did to Sydney Sweeney right now. She's doing the smile.
Oh God, I'm a good person. I let grapists go because they only grape because of
What is it? What is the
Socioeconomic
white
circumstances.
Floyd's obsession with the black man? What is it? Always wanted to help them. Even Kim Kardashian wanting to get black men out of prison. What is it? It's like the worst thing. It really is just the worst thing. They want to do the worst thing they can do. What else would it be?
I don't know. I think they subconsciously view them as unruly children.
Yes.
And they think that they can bring them around through kindness. But that's not how that shit works. So apparently, yeah, she's very into granting outrageous plea deals, letting convicted grape offenders off with light punishment and little to no jail time. But there will be
And it's Minnesota for you.
None of that. In the case of Shiloh Hendrix, obviously, I bet they're really bummed out actually that they couldn't give her more actually lock her up or whatever. Honestly, what else have we got now? This was, as I said, primarily driven by the Rochester branch of the NAACP. Rochester's in Minnesota, Minneapolis.
This is
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah.
I always get them a bit confused.
Usually you hear about Rochester, New York when you hear Rochester.
Yeah. This is the victim statement that the lawyer was referring to. They had to get this read out. All of this basically has been a vehicle of the NAACP. The Somalian in question was probably just advised, like, if any white people give you shit, call this number, call the NAACP.
Oh, easily.
Right? We'll take care of it. The Rochester branch of the NAACP became directly involved after a young black child and the child's family were traumatized by the actions of Ms. Hendrix in a Rochester playground. Initially, what I thought I was...
Is that on screen?
Sorry.
You good?
Initially, what I thought I was seeing on social media was fake news or that it had occurred somewhere other than Rochester. I remember hoping that it was not true. Unfortunately, we quickly confirmed that what occurred was real and that it had happened at one of our own public playgrounds. Right? You just let them steal your stuff. Okay.
I mean, this is where the Somali fraud happened. Like the whole state. This is where George Floyd happened in this state. So this is like, you gotta get the fuck out of the state, dude. Yeah.
Right. Of course. Fuck. So this is the heart of George Floydville. Right. So
it's probably like an hour away from where the George Floyd riots were.
So you don't want to be slinging around the ninja word around there, right?
No,
like
I want to. I can't. I want to. I can't. Just to be clear.
As both a father and a president of the Rochester branch of the NAACP, I was deeply disturbed. Public parks should be safe for blacks, not for whites. Inclusive places where black children and families can gather without white people around. Sorry, I am editorializing here a bit.
Yes.
Not places where children experience hate and trauma, unless they're white, in which case they can experience all of the hate and trauma that they want. We had to respond because it sends a very dangerous message to society and our community that an adult can intentionally traumatize a child so much that the younger brother of the victim soiled himself. What? And the older sister of the victim started crying. Oh my God, like the way they fucking, like, oh yes, right. She said the ninja word, right? Like literally, like it's the black shower, right?
Oh my God, that's good.
The victim was traumatized and also evidenced by his other siblings and what they shared with me, right? Like I'm sure like the father didn't coach the kids, right? Like, you know, we were alarmed not only by the racist words and actions directed towards this young child, but also by the fact that Ms. Hendrix showed no remorse. God, this is the worst thing, right? Instead, she doubled down on her actions and quickly raised hundreds of thousands of dollars based on hate. It's not based on hate, right? It's just white solidarity.
Does this feel UK-ish to you at all?
Oh, it does. It feels very, very UK. Actually,
Right.
I mean, the language is a bit more bombastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the UK, right? It's a bit more sort of whiny and
Okay.
kind of like passive aggressive. I don't know. That deeply troubled us because it sent a dangerous message that someone could intentionally traumatize a child, refuse to accept responsibility, and then be financially rewarded from doing so. Only blacks are allowed to do that, right? That's our grift.
No. No matter where the blacks are from. That's
yeah.
I cannot make that any clearer as to why I position myself more about thinking about whites globally than I do about like me and my own actual country. The law is applying to blacks that aren't citizens before white people. Okay, this is
of course.
This is a global issue.
Of course. When I met this young boy, within 30 seconds, I could see the tremendous challenges he lives with and that he has a serious disability. Anyone who even spent a brief moment of time with him could clearly see the state that he was in. Ms. Hendrix saw this child and instead of showing compassion...
Now, I mean, before we started the stream, what did you say the disability was, possibly?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, like what is the... I can't even... Like, what is it? What is his disability? Is it being small?
I think you mentioned it in passing.
God.
No, I thought of it right now. This is what I said before the stream. I definitely said, what's the disability? Is black? That's what I said. Me.
Ms. Hendrix saw this child, and instead of showing compassion and recognizing his humanity, she inflicted harm and trauma upon him while showing no remorse for her action. The kid stole from her. I noticed we are skating over that, right? We see he it's fun that he stole from that white person, right?
He has a habit of stealing. Dude, he's a 9-year-old being positioned as a 5-year-old, but he already has a pattern of behavior of being a criminal before he's in double digits. Okay.
Oh my god,
it's pretty heavy-handed. Starts.
This is funny, right? As president of the Rochester branch of the NAACP, I also became responsible for helping ensure that the community support reached the correct family. There was 3 different families who contacted us claiming to be the victim's family.
Oh, wow.
We was going to get some of that NAACP money.
Can we make fun of him for that? That sounds very condemnable.
Oh yeah. That I saw that white lady. She used a ninja word. I saw that on the internet. Can I please get that money?
I mean, but they always say like, that looked just like my kid. He looked just like me. And now they're trying to be like, no, it's really my kid. Seriously.
2 of those families falsely claimed to be the child's family, while the 3rd family was the real family.
What, 2 families got out ahead of it.
It goes on. It goes on. One individual stated she was a representative of the family and requested that we write a check over to her. She also went on social media claiming to represent the family and telling lies about our organization. We are a serious organization and never conduct business like that. It was never going to happen and no one was getting a check.
Well, yeah, this sounds like a black guy. You don't have to include this in the victims, right? Is this unnecessary information to include in here? I don't know.
Yeah, this is you better cut me a check, or I'm going to go on the internet and tell NAACP say bad things. A second family also claimed they were the real family, and we continued conducting our due diligence. We met with them multiple times, but there were red flags, and it appeared the focus was primarily on the GoFundMe rather than the child.
Did the child care?
Mm-hmm. The 3rd family, the Jamale family, was the real family, right? So they must have been like putting it out there, being like, do you know this family? When I received a call,
NAACP knows the fucking paycheck. It's the Al Sharpton was famous for.
When I received a call from an interpreter stating they were the actual family, they don't even freaking speak English.
Oh,
they need an interpreter, right?
Yeah. So is the kid Somali? I don't even know if it's Black American. I want to be accurately racist. I need to know a little more information first before I, have a shotgun full of slurs going at the kid. I'd like to know, is he one of my countrymen or not?
What struck me most about my interaction with all 3 families was that the Jamale family was never concerned about the money. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, perhaps they didn't know that it existed. They were concerned about their child. They were concerned about justice. They were too busy caring for their son and dealing with the trauma left behind. It's basically like slavery. The way they fucking, right? Like the way they overamp this shit, man. For additional context, while many of us have the luxury of sleeping in our own beds, the mother and father take turns sleeping on the floor with their bodies against the door to prevent their son from wandering. That is how severe the situation is, and it also explains why he had a Project Lifesaver bracelet in the first place. They shared with me that this incident impacted their son so deeply that in the aftermath of the event, he was wailing uncontrollably, which was not his more normal behavior. He was traumatized. Why are these people in your country, Ardy? Like,
for this,
seriously,
to attack us, to antagonize us, yes, to hold up a phone and go, you're not allowed to say that, but I am, even though he isn't a part of the lineage. They act like it's just color to the right wing, and the right wing's like, no, we understand what ethnicity is. With the left, it's just a color. Black and brown people, they don't give a fuck about you. Don't have a culture. They're gonna take that anyway. It's just a color to them.
So the child is a tard, but clearly not. I mean,
what kind of tard is he? I want to do the right slurs.
She's just supposed to like realize this, right? Like,
yeah. Didn't you see our stupid black kid?
I mean, if they need an interpreter, does the child even speak English?
No, he doesn't know what the word means. That's a good point.
He doesn't even know what the word means. Some random Somalian steals from your bag.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're supposed to be a good white and just be like, those blacks, right? Getting up to their usual hijinks. Like what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We gotta start scooting.
Yeah. We also have the NAACP statement responding to the verdict. Today marks an important step towards accountability in our community. Mm-hmm. While the verdict in Shiloh Hendrix case was not the complete outcome that we hoped for, Miss Hendrix is still not behind the bars and still has a life, hasn't been taken away from her children. So the outcome that we hoped for to destroy her entire life, unfortunately was not reached. It sends a clear message that bias-motivated conduct has consequences. Unless it's against whites, you're totally fine there, right? We are grateful that the jury found Ms. Hendrix guilty on one count of disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct, that's what it is. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, right.
You convinced me for a moment that it might be one of your goofy gay words. That's what she was convicted of. Okay.
Right. So she's got a criminal conviction. Finally, we have seen racism held accountable. Oh, yeah, finally, right? Yeah, while we had hoped for convictions on both charges and believed a stronger sentence would have more fully reflected the seriousness of the defendant's conduct and the profound harm it caused to the child, his family, and our community. Wait. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Does the child even speak English?
No.
Is the way this is sort of framed is like the child might be nonverbal. If
and
he's
retarded,
nonverbal, does he even understand what the ninja word even means?
No. Nope. He doesn't.
This is.
I know. It's in Minnesota. It's been the state has been taken over. There's like a history of socialism in like Wisconsin and Minnesota, spanning back like 70 or 80 years. And that's what it brings. That's what it breeds.
So yeah, right. So
our community. Now, notice how our community is blacks globally by this American organization, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just want to finish off with this clip from Jake Monroe because it's a banger.
I want you to ask yourself this question and really try to think as to what the answer we would get. What would it take for us to truly absolve ourselves of this crime of being white? What do you think it would take? Look what it's taken so far. What do you think it would take? If they're constantly hopping on about white people being inherently bad, and sins of our fathers, and blood on our hands, what do you think it would take? If we could get them together and if they could answer as a collective, if we could ask that brown collective, what would it take for you to drop this shit and never talk about it again? What can white people do to truly say, sorry, and you never bring this up again? You drop the resentment, you never bring this up again, and you move the fuck on. What would it take? And if you don't think it's total, utter fucking annihilation, then you're an idiot. There is no sum of money. There is no benevolence. There is no sharing of wealth, of land, of resources. There is no cultural celebrations that we can throw in their honor. There's no apology that can be written, spoken. There's not a single thing that we can do as a culture, as a race, as ethnicities that we can do to say sorry to these people. What they want is for us dead and for them to keep everything that we made. It's what they want. So save your breath. Don't bother apologizing. Don't bother trying to signal your virtues to these people. They don't care. They are opportunistic savages. They will see this weakness as an opportunity to get something. Leverage. There is nothing we can do. Nothing. So don't waste your fucking breath. Look what we've done already, okay? Look where she is, for example. Look what we've done for these ungrateful fucks. Look what we've done for them already. And look how they're still talking. Look at the bullshit. They still talk. How much more they think they're still owed. Don't waste your time. Whether you're nice to them or you're mean to them, they will think of you the same way they do now.
So, yeah.
Dissident right-wingers come in all shapes and sizes nowadays, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, he's a goth, right? They still exist, right? I mean, it's a bit, it's a gimmick, right? Like, but, I thought that was a good speech. So, right. Super chats. Right. TNR FNV for $10. Thank you very much.
Hello. Oh, there we go. I'm slippery over here.
Ben Shapiro has to vacation 20 to 40 miles from Palestinians, and you guys are laughing about that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. Does he even go back? I don't know. Dissident Night for $10 Australian dollars. Thank you very much, mate. Gather round, people, I'll tell you a story, an 8,000-year-long story of power and pride. Ben Shapiro's teens eyebrows and kippa, from big things, little things grow. From big things, little things grow.
Yeah, so it used to be a meme about his eyebrows, but now that's really his eyebrows. I just think that's fascinating how it's no longer a meme. His eyebrows became the meme that I thought was fake, but I guess it's real. So it's the Browstein Bears. I don't know what the original story is.
Is the Night member for 4 months. Thank you, mate.
Morning, Rev.
I heard the ninja word growing up as a half BIPOC based on recent precedent. I henceforth will be creating a GoFundMe to aid in my recovery. Godspeed!
Yeah, I'm making an army of nuns, okay? Nuns
Right.
for whites.
But, is the Night, if you are half BIPOC, only one half of you is allowed to spend the money. So if you go out and buy some dope threads, you have to be very careful to only put them on one side of your body. I will allow you to pick which side.
It's not going to be easy, but those are the rules.
Those are the rules. Those are the rules. Deep Calm for $5. Thank you very much. No, we're not doing that. You're getting called a slur.
I love that. I love that. Is that Sam Hyde? Who is
yeah,
that?
Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
We have to have that on the soundboard, actually.
Oh, we really do. That's a good call.
Ancient Hybrid for $5. I'm sick of this. We need to unite right now. It's happening, mate. It is happening.
I know. I'm glad that spirit is being built up in you because after the super chats, that's going to bring me to my next segment. Terrific.
Oh, yeah. Gungan Supremacist for $6.99 Canadian loonies. Thank you, mate. Judges being blatantly biased should be grounds for a mistrial. I'm disappointed, but not surprised that nothing is done about it. Yeah, and they've got to get rid of women judges. It's been a disaster. The only thing that gives me hope is after this period of history, right? Whatever winds up happening, the next time women are like, oh, we should be judges, they'll be able to point to quite previous history and be like, shut the fuck up, right? We saw what you did last time. Yeah, terrible. Banana Kong for $5. This is a current day blasphemy charge against the modern creation myth. Yeah, basically. And Dillweed member for 7 months. We got to go up there and whip out that special word and not stop.
That's the only way. I hear if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's right. That's right. Or just step around it and just create new words, right? That's what you could do as well.
Very moving of you to say that.
No, thank you very much. Right. Your section, mate.
So I like to get you fellas. Well, I don't even like to get you mad. It's just that we have to cover things, and I know it's going to get you mad. So I don't like to just get you mad and you just sit there being mad. So recently we have white nationalism versus Christian nationalism. Okay, Thomas Rousseau and Joel Webbin, which Fist and I will be doing an entire stream just on this conversation. Now, the first half of this is a little more casual. The second half is much more white nationalism versus Christian nationalism. So, Return to the Land, much more general, much more broad. Patriot Front, way more strict, really looking for very specific certain men, okay? And so let's get into it, where if you're going to be serious, a serious political actor, if you're going to be... if this is something that's really bothering you and you want to do something about it, okay? You have to think. Act like there's always a Fed watching what you do, because that's what Thomas Rousseau does.
It's like, yeah, that's not Fed talk.
Not really. And what you said earlier about I do plan and I act as if there could be a federal agent or even several in the organization.
I behave that way as a pastor in my church.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people should try to consider what they're doing with the lens of, oh, what if there's a bad person around? Right. What if there's somebody who doesn't have my interests, and how do I plan to minimize that? And that's why the organization doesn't only have these rules about nonviolence and our law-abiding activities outside, but internally. Right. Members aren't allowed to do certain things with firearms that could be totally legal, but still could make it easier for somebody to slip through the cracks like that. Now,
that is how strict they are, fellas. Okay? Now, mind you, he's been organizing. He has had, the same time trajectory as Nick Fuentes. They're roughly the same age. He started organizing when he was about 17 or 18. Nick Fuentes really started making content around that time. And so he is a right-wing organizer. Now, a lot of organizing, I want to say 98% is done by the left, okay? It's based upon communism, Moory, and Tikkun Olam. So now I'm much more interested in exploring the right-wing organizing, which does seem to be white first and not Christ first, which will be gone into way more detail on Monday.
a big supporter of the Second Amendment, as you know, but members are not allowed to train with firearms with each other. In that march, right, 400 men through the city, not so much as a corkscrew or a Swiss Army knife in anybody's pocket, right? And we set those very strong boundaries so that if anybody comes in and tries to do the slightest bit towards that, we know that something's wrong. And you know what? You don't have to be a federal agent to be dangerously malicious. There's a lot of people out there who just don't have the right ideas, and we need to be prepared for that as well. And the thing,
there are guys. I'm glad you mentioned that. There are guys who are malicious and sinister and undercover and trying to sow seeds of discord, all that kind of thing. And then there are also guys who are good guys, and we love them and we wish the best for them, but are equally liabilities, not because they're malicious, but because they're retarded.
And the question is, in some cases, what would this person have done differently if they were malicious? And sometimes there's not, and you need to have the rules for those cases too. And the thing with when PBD was asking me about Hitler, and I believe genuinely he had about an hour of questions prepared. If I answered yes, Hitler was great.
I just did an interview with him that'll be coming out soon. At the time that this comes out, it may sync up. And you got to give the dude credit. He does his homework.
He's very smart.
When I was walking in, I was not walking in as a stranger. He knew way more about me than I knew about him.
Yes, absolutely. And I could tell he had a lot. He definitely had done some research. I do think the interview went in a way he wasn't expecting.
Yeah, he thought you'd be more extreme.
And, it's not that I believe I think my beliefs are the moral center of where I fall. So whether they're radical or moderate, they just are, in my opinion. But I do think there is a level of rationality which can be embodied with the nationalist position. And I think a lot of people throughout the years have really not given it credit for that.
Yeah.
That what we're trying to do is reasonable, is natural, is practical. And sure, anybody can be a total whack job with whatever belief and pursue it in the wrong way that's going to give it a bad name. But what I believe is just what I've always believed. We were talking about this a little bit. I'm the same person on and off camera. I've worked with Jake Shields a lot, where he's come out and done disaster relief, and he, says many times.
Yes, sir.
So okay, I just want to point out like the well poisoning that's gone on here. Okay, Thomas, to all intents and purposes, as far as I can see, is like a well-dressed, sort of like upstanding young white man. Okay, but just the very idea that whites would organize for nationalism is so poisoned. Like, it's just, you can't. And look at the restrictions they have to operate under. Very smart, by the way, right? To like make sure that like there aren't any like weirdos. Stay away from like just like they've got to be cleaner than clean. They've got to be like whiter than white. And I think that this will actually benefit them in the long run, because by
elite stock is what they're looking for, right? They're really looking for more so the best of the best, and they don't care if that's a smaller amount of people.
Well, yeah, there must be so many people looking to like screw them over, right? Crawling over this and crawling over that, like just waiting for like one mistake, one thing they can use and be like, "See, we told you they were snazzy." See,
right? And I mean, they have like family events. It's very culture oriented. But what I want to focus more on Monday is, there's pro-whites that are like, see, Thomas Rousseau was saying this, we're saying the same thing. It's like, no, he is saying it in a certain way that a lot of other people aren't saying it. So he's very dedicated to the pro-white position. But the way that he expresses it is naturalism, is that it's natural. The way that he goes about it is very specific and very intentional. And there's a lot that we can learn from the organizing of Arval and from Thomas Rousseau, and how they present these ideas rhetorically, how they are pro themselves. They are not anti anything, right? Because they know that they're going to be getting the hate allegations over and over again. So they really explicitly talk about being pro themselves.
I mean, you talk about infinite respawns, but if you think about it, organizations like this and Return to the Land are sort of built on all the failed attempts that came before, right? Look at what happened to Rockwell. You know what I mean, right? Like his crew got like totally like infiltrated. Didn't he get assassinated? He did, didn't he? Rockwell. Wasn't he assassinated as well around the same time that they took out like Martin Luther King? Chat. Can someone tell me if I'm misremembering or not? So like the lesson, I guess, to be taken from history. Yeah, I was right. The lesson to be taken from history is that if you want to represent the white ethnicity, you have got to be cleaner than clean. You've got to be like whiter than white. Your opponents can use every trick in the book. They can be as sloppy as they want. They can be like, as horrible as they want.
But that's why people on the dissident right wing will sometimes go, well, fuck it. They get to do it, so I will. It's like, well, they have the power. They want you to do that. They want you to be sloppy because they show you how sloppy they are all the time.
Of course, yeah.
And fellas, this is not what I do during this show, but I'll do it one time. Okay? Can we stop calling it right wing? Now, I let myself get one guide. Okay? There's going to be a lot more chat interaction since this is going to be, no, by the way, we're going to call it right wing. And there's a lot more chat engagement since we're doing one single topic the entire time on Monday to delve deeper into these topics. Now, so he's also good at.
Can I just interject? Right?
Yes, sure.
I'm open to alternative suggestions for what you would call the quote unquote right wing. Okay, but I mean the thing about language is that language is partially about utility.
Yes.
Particularly with abstracts, you need to use a term that everyone basically sort of understands
and diametrically opposes.
Correct, right? Some words gain meaning by being in opposition to other words. So, I mean...
Well, I also don't want to say far right because I don't want it to be extreme. I want to make right wing normal. Yeah. And if it's far right, I can't make that normal. So that's why I like right wing, and I say dissident right wing. But I don't think any of I never position the positions as extreme. I say, no, these are actually very normal positions that they try to make extreme. And I can do that with the phrasing of right wing. But Thomas is very good at acknowledging progress along the way, even if it's not the progress that we want to see, and how we can like utilize that and build upon it.
Because they're inactive.
The changes are all very superficial, but the actual progress is extremely glacial, and that's even in the good direction. I'm not a capital S Trump supporter, as I say. I haven't been a Trump supporter since I was a teenager in 2016, realistically. But I'm also not so rabidly anti-Trump that I can't recognize a few good things that have happened. I do think it's a good thing. Every single foreigner that's supported from the country, with the proper processes that are taking place, is a good thing. Yes. And I hope they continue to do that. I want my government to be good. I think some people, are so bound up that they can't admit that other people that it has to be terrible. I want my government to be good. I want these people to get better, even if they are the ones in power. And it's good when the State Department, I believe, made a post and they said, oh well, we oppose the Great Replacement or the something like that, something very similar to that. And they said they're fond of remigration, which is something, if you asked me 10 years ago if that was likely to happen, would be unthinkable.
Right.
And now we do forget that, don't we, Fist? That they actually said that the Great Replacement, you weren't even allowed to say it. You'd be called a Nazi.
Yep.
Until 3 years ago?
Well, basically, until it became unignorable. I'm basically of the opinion that a lot of this stuff was just done to buy them time to do the thing. Right? Because they knew everyone would figure it out eventually. So the play is just to stop people talking about it for long enough until it's done and it can't be reversed. COVID was like that.
Right. And an issue I have sometimes with more of the pro-whites is the lack of gratitude for where we are now. They kind of have a short memory sometimes. And I understand that because there's a sense of urgency, right? But
a sense of existential urgency, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we also need to acknowledge that now we're able to talk about it with each other and link up like we weren't able to before, right?
Listen, my personal opinion on this, is that if you really do believe good things about the whites, and the civilization and stuff, then it is, and that we are with God. I know some of the people in the chat and like blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
But like we will overcome. Right, like there has got to be like some optimism, right? We have gotten ourselves out of stickier situations than this, is my point. And now the ideas are gaining wide currency. Okay, the adversity is actually forcing us to think as a collective.
Yes,
which is reversing the sort of extreme atomization which has been a result of the post-war consensus. And while that post-war consensus held, while everyone was individual and stuff, there was never going to be any sort of collective action. So looked at from a certain point of view, you could say that it was the adversity that is making us, which is again a classic Christian idea, basically.
Oh, and I mean hard times.
Yeah,
right.
Hard times, yeah.
And then we have What is a Nation, just to give you a little taste of what we're going to do on Monday.
A common ancestry, a common shared lineage. So I want to pose this question to you, which I know is basic and you've probably answered 100 times, but for people who are maybe new to you, What is a nation? How would you define nationhood?
Absolutely. So a nation is a people, and we're definitely on the same page when it comes to that. And I believe a nation must have a shared ancestry, a sense of place, language, culture, traditions. And a lot of people try to break down what a nation is, but I believe nations are natural. They are natural constructs. If I said this on PBD, I believe, but if you started the entire world over and you just placed people again, if creation just started anew, you would end up with nations.
Right.
There wasn't a point where somebody
Agreed.
invented nations.
Right.
They're naturally occurring, just like animals. Fish form schools and people form nations. And what we have is, it when you see it, right? And I believe America is a nation, and we are a unique nation. I believe we are much more of a pan-racial nation than a lot of others in Europe because we have been able to amalgamate so many different European nations into one. But that doesn't mean that America's culture is uniquely, evenly spread across the entirety of the European race. I believe our core cultural foundation was Anglo-Saxon.
It was.
And when you look...
Yeah, so what you should know is with Return to the Land and Eric Arval, that is more technically European focused, okay? He is doing the white race and white American. It's weird. For Arval, it's like kind of white first and kind of like American second. And then with Rousseau, it's kind of American first and white second, but he's going to obviously join the two. So Thomas Rousseau is much more of like the history of this country and the rights to it. And then Eric Arval is much more exploring the deep, rich culture of like European heritage. Would be the best differentiator.
This stream on Monday is going to be spicy. I got one eye on the chat with people already.
Yeah,
I mean, raising good points. Like I'm looking forward to this.
That's why I was saying, dude, exactly. That's why I was saying we're gonna have to fucking dig into it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Okay, we're already gonna get too carried away with it, so I'm gonna move on. Okay, so that's a little teaser of what's gonna go down on Monday. And we've covered Liam Tufts over here and with Tommy Robinson going to Israel, okay? Boy, oh boy, did we make fun of them. But now I got Jake Rattlesnake on my radar because he's also kind of talking about nationalism, but he's talking about it in a more... Jake Rattlesnake is Australian, okay? Mm-hmm. And he's talking about these concepts in a more international way. He's kind of like a right-wing anthropologist where he actually goes to... he went to Spain and he talked to the nationalists that were there. And so let me just start us there.
So you've interviewed your fair share of nationalist groups. So what have you seen that your average person isn't seeing when your boots on the deck speaking to these groups? Because a lot of people will just hear the word nationalist and just think Nazi.
Yeah. Well, that's the ironic part. So the one thing that I've taken away, and like I kind of knew this inherently already about the tribal nature of humans, but when you go around and you actually speak to the different groups, and when you sort of observe all these things, you realize just how tribal people really are. So, for example, when I'm interviewing these Spanish nationalists, they are not only at war with the progressives in their own city and with the infiltration of these different cultures and the mass immigration, they're also at war with their own people. Like the Basque Country up the north of Spain, they have got their own...
So you see what I'm saying, how Jake Rattlesnake is a much more international perspective of it's not just white. He'll go to Spain and like the different ethnicities. So when he says nation, there's an element of white in there, but he goes much deeper into like the historical roots of populations kind of battling with each other in their own country.
I mean, I don't know whether he's talking about the Basques or talking about Catalonia. But Catalonia is a classic example. Like the Catalonians, don't really think of themselves as like Spanish. They tried to secede and from Spain, and the Spanish government was like, no, you don't, kind of thing. And I mean, and this is one of the reoccurring themes in sort of nationalism generally, is that if all the groups get too nationalistic, you'll get like a fragmentation. And I think this was the original impulse behind trying to sort of form different groups into a country,
make it more general. Yeah.
Sometimes it goes really badly, like Yugoslavia. But the more difference there are in these groups, the harder you have to come down on everyone, because it's sort of an unnatural state,
right?
Basically, right? Like let me give you, like, Yugoslavia is an excellent example, right? When Tito died and Yugoslavia like came apart, the natural state of those different countries was not to like mix together into like this multi-culti thing. The natural state was that everyone migrated to their own communities. I hate that word because of the way Starmy, but their own group, right?
Say it in the Starmer voice.
Communities. Everyone migrated to their own communities. So you've got this constant tension between, if you're running like some kind of like larger country, there's this constant tension between the urge to balkanize into like national groups.
Yep.
And the urge to try and sort of, forge or force everybody into like one coherent nation. But if there's large enough differences, then the government has to begin to just be more and more and more draconian. And you wind up with what's basically happening in the UK at the moment.
And so what I find fascinating about what Jake is doing, a lot of these perceptions I have are just kind of on the internet. What I like about Jake is he's really going to these places and really talking to them. And so even paganism came up in his travels.
If, see these nationalist groups you've been speaking to, if, let's say, they had to present themselves and package themselves and sell themselves to the public, how do you think they would describe themselves, their ethos, their mission statement?
It's funny because they're all quite different from what I've seen. So you get
different countries.
Yeah, they're all quite different. So interestingly enough, I was speaking to the Spanish guys at Nucleo Nacional, and they have a very interesting way of viewing their cultural lineage, right? So when I think about Christian Western cultures, I think about the societies that basically sprout out of Christendom, right? These guys look back further than that at the pagan heritage, and they say, well, we need to merge Christianity with this pagan ethos, because the pagans were great warriors, like the Vikings and all these sorts of people were great warriors, and then the Christians have this great moral sense. And I found it very, very interesting that they were looking back that far, and that was something that I hadn't really encountered before.
Pause it.
Still kind of like grappling.
Yes, sir.
Like the Christians weren't great warriors. I mean, I'm just right. Like
he's saying it anthropologically from the standpoint of the people that he's talking to. So what he does,
no, I mean,
I
get it, right? I totally get it. Okay, if you look at a lot of Christianity now, it's just full of like cucks and simps. But like that, I'm just saying, if you're going to look back into history, there's also like martial Christianity. That's all I'm getting at.
Well, no, but they may have been applying it more ethnically to their own country.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
That myself, I think the British.
But even how paganism is intersecting with Christianity when it comes to white identity is an unavoidable conversation, right?
Yeah, it is. It is an unavoidable conversation, and I'm quite jazzed to have it. Quite frankly,
you were a pagan, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, so I've seen it from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that paganism has developed like a fair bit since I was in it. It was quite a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff I was exposed to was mainly Wicca and all that Gardnerian bullshit. And I understand there are there are more sort of coherent versions going around today. But, I think...
But there's no like pagan representatives necessarily. And that's where it gets muddy in terms of throwing around the word pagan, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what their moral code is, right? I'm sure someone can like answer me on this, okay? But it's been a long time since there's been a pagan civilization, so I'm not really sure like what kind of like moral code you would use in a large scale society. Again, not saying it doesn't exist, just right. Right.
There's a lot of unknowns about it, especially between fucking countries.
Connor Tomlinson, Charlie Downs, these sorts of guys. Very, very intelligent, sophisticated. They know how to politically organize. They're kind of a small group, but I'd say they're sort of like the media wing of the Restore Party. But they're very right wing. Like they're very based. Like Carl Benjamin, if you sit him down and you sort of examine what his political views are, same with Connor Tomlinson.
You have to remember he's talking to Liam Tufts, okay, who did a tour in Israel that we covered on stream, okay?
Is he the guy, or is there another baldy head dude?
I don't think there is.
No, I think there's another. Chat, tell me if there's another baldy head guy. He used to go to like hotspots around the world. He was like an ex-SAS guy or whatever. He played like a tough guy in like movies. I'm blanking on his like name. I don't think
all
it's
white guys. All white guys that are bald without facial hair do in fact look alike. There's not a lot. Not even whites can tell the difference between them. Okay. But he brings up this concept where even in the UK is more socially conservative than Spain in terms of talking to the nationalists.
They're pretty much as right-wing as it gets these days.
And to me, they seem harmless.
Yeah. Well, I think that they are harmless. I think they would do a lot of good if they had more political power in the country. The Spanish guys, I had a conversation with one of them who was not in the Nuclear Nacional group. He was in another group. And he described some of the other guys as like he would say he agrees with them a lot, but there's a little bit of like Hollywood Nazism that goes on. And I found that an interesting term.
Hollywood Nazism. And
Interesting.
This is something that's covered in the Rousseau and Webben conversation, where it's like the Hitler memeing, right? So that's how that's expressed. It's almost in place of an identity. They're frustrated, and so the what they call it in Spain is Hollywood Nazism.
That's really interesting.
It's sort of what the movies want Nazis to be.
Well, you think they're playing up to their character?
A little bit, sort of playing this role of this Hollywood Nazi. And look, I understand it from the sense of you can't tell us what to do. If we want to do a Roman salute, we're going to do a Roman salute. If we want to be a National Socialist, we're going to be a National Socialist. We're going to break down these taboos. We're going to just smash down that wall, smash down your taboos and your sacred cows and just march through it. I get that in a way, but also from my time in observing politics, optics is very important. You know, what are you doing and how is it going to resonate with the public? Are you here to sort of like bash down walls, or are you here?
Which has been a lot of my issues with pro-whites in a lot of different contexts, I would say. So this is very much resonating because I want to be a bridge builder, so to speak, right? I'm taking notes from fucking Jake Rattlesnake over here because I couldn't talk to this guy. I wouldn't be able to do it, dude. He really finds any sort of common ground, and he can build upon it. So even though he disagrees about Israel, he'll just mention it in passing and keep moving forward. And I will start to wind this down with Jake's take on civic nationalism. Because, you know, when someone like Jake is talking about these issues, and they're kind of being like too moderate, sometimes you're like, well, he just sounds like too milquetoast. There's a huge difference between being moderate in a conversation in an attempt to have your ideas heard to a different audience and being milquetoast. So he carves out his position on civic nationalism.
Generations, and then people a bit browner than you, that their parents and grandparents lived here. I've got no problem with that. I don't think anybody really had a problem with that until the flood walls broke, until the dam broke, and now it's basically anyone can be British. And the tribal nature of people is going to mean that people are going to fight back against that.
So would you say that civic nationalism has failed?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, completely failed.
On what metric?
Well, civic nationalism, if you just want to say that basically it's about like the constitution, and if you follow a certain...
Yeah.
On what metric? what metrics have you got?
That's why, dude. The way what Jake is doing right now. If I fucking heard that question, dude, I'd go on what fucking metric? Pick one. Like, choose a fucking metric.
Bring me your metrics and let me judge them harshly.
Dude, Jake is like straight up fucking media trained. The way that he engages with this is very impressive.
Very set of ideals, and then if those ideals, if you're sort of trying to like embody those ideals, and then you're British. Well, I mean, then what would be the argument against then there being a total, like you could bring in anybody. Like, for example, if you opened up the borders to Indians and Sri Lankans and Pakistanis, and you said, no more borders. If you guys come in here and if you like our way of life, then you're British. What about in 100 years when everybody's, like, when nobody's an Anglo-Saxon?
He goes right to the thought experiment of civic nationalism.
Would that still be Britain? Like, in a sense, if you have the high trust society and the slow bleed of immigrants, then sure.
Because Liam Tufts has to walk a delicate line here, right? Because on one hand, he has to be a nationalist, but also support Israel, right? When obviously there's a triangular thing that happens. And so he has to, like, on one hand say, like, yeah, we should be fighting for what it means to be Brit, but how far can you take that idea? So this is actually a good conversation to kind of penetrate that.
I can answer that question, right?
Sure.
You can take it right up to the point where anything would like actually change.
Yeah,
right? That's the civic nationalist position, right? You can whine and
change in a good direction. It'll change in a bad direction.
Like you can fiddle around the edges, but you cannot address the fundamental question of the differences, the group differences between peoples, right? That's the zone, okay? Because once you start doing that, well, you know, you're basically mustache man. Despite the fact it's so fucking obvious at this point. Like like it's like arguing with people about whether like rain falls from the sky, and you've got like, I don't know, man. It's so fucking obvious.
But so that's why the way he answers the question of civic nationalism, he goes, what if it's 100% Indians? Would it be British?
Yes, but we've heard this argument a billion times before,
I know.
okay?
Yes.
And the civic nationalists just say, oh, yes, firstly, they don't accept the premise of the question, right?
You've heard it a lot more than I assume Liam's audience, and honestly, Liam's audience is, I don't even know if it's his audience. I think it might be all Jake's audience in the comments. The comments are very much.
But my point is, okay, right? Firstly, they will not accept the premise of the question, okay?
Yeah.
To them, the idea that like whites could die out or be displaced is just unthinkable. They're really sort of weird like that. Okay, like they just, I guess it's like normalcy bias or something like that. They literally can't envision a world in which this would happen. Okay, and then secondly, they'll just pivot to saying, oh yeah, right, like you could replace like all of England with Pakistanis and Sikhs and Nigerians and stuff as long as they have British values. Whatever the fuck that means. And
let's see where it goes.
Well, you can have like they can eventually be English in a sense, I guess, but it just depends on the rate. And at the moment, what we're seeing is that the rate is something that the society can't handle, and you're going to be culturally replaced. And I think England actually might become a Muslim country eventually. So at that point, it's just not England anymore.
I'd be very surprised if it doesn't become a Muslim country.
Yeah.
I mean, how can it not? When they're outbreeding us and coming in by the bucket load without any policing whatsoever. So as you say that, so you're of an
yes, best.
Becoming. Like my brother in Christ, it has become, right? Like it's
well, this is what you were just saying about civic nationalism, about maintaining things. They'll complain about it, right? But not really talk about it with a sense of urgency.
Who runs the fucking Home Office? Like who gets preferential treatment?
Yeah, they're kind of like your moves in the UK. It is
basically
disproportionate amount of power.
Like what? So we've got to like wait until we get like the English version of the fucking Iranian Revolution, and at that point we'll be able to be like, oh, maybe this was like a bad idea. Well, it's too fucking late then.
Well, yeah, that's their favorite thing. Once it's already happened, then they go, I said some things, you said some things.
Yeah,
decide.
Yeah, for sure. Because the civic nationalism that you've got in Britain, I mean, like, what civics are you actually adhering to, though? Like, what is the British civics that these people think that they're adhering to? And if you do have Sharia courts all over the UK, like, is that British civic nationalism? Should that be on the civics test about what happens with cousin marriage and everything? Like, or are we talking about foundational British ideals here?
Yeah, where's the line?
Yeah, eventually it becomes something else. So even if you do say I'm a civic nationalist, well, the goalposts of what it means to be a British civic nationalist eventually will be moved until it becomes an Islamic Sharia country. I mean, where does it end?
I suspect a lot of civic nationalists are actually probably more ethno-nationalists, but they probably don't want to put their hands up and say it just yet. But I'd imagine that their thought process and their own ideology, through no fault of their own, has been shifted further right because it's completely out of control now. We are going to be replaced. I mean, if anyone's still thinking now that we're not, they must have had their head in the sand for the last 10 years at least. It's now noticeable. Like any town you go to in the UK, you can see that there is a demographic change, and it's just getting more and more broader and broader across the country, and more obvious as to what that demographic change is.
Yeah, and there's some strange alliances going on as well.
You see, the CivNav will really enjoy describing what the problem is. You know, like it is kind of too late, isn't it? And it's like, okay, well, I mean, Liam, what were the kind of conversations you were having 5 or 10 years ago about this? Were you a part of the problem, or were you a part of the solution 5 or 10 years ago?
Man,
you know,
I'm glad that these conversations are becoming like more normalized. Okay,
yes,
but it's just
you're fatigued a little with it because you've been.
I am a little fatigued. I don't know, right? Like, but I mean, again, you know, right in the UK, the amount of like brainwashing expended in order to make this a thing and in order to get people to not notice this is insane, right? Like, I understand from like the outside to the Ameribros, like it looks insane, but you have to realize like so much psychological warfare and not just psychological warfare, like coercion and law and, you know, all of this stuff like has been exerted upon the British population. So the fact that it's now getting so bad that even like the normies are starting to notice, I think that it says something, you know.
I mean, well, they haven't been allowed to say anything, and now so they can at least hit like when somebody else is saying these things. The comments are I don't even know if there is a Liam pin in the comments here. Okay, This is all 100% to the white of what Jake was saying. So, if you want to let you continue your onto your stack.
Okie dokie. So to finish off, we have Elon Musk got interviewed by this harpy from The Economist, who is amazingly not a Yenta, but you know, very, very similar energy. This was fun to watch. Well, okay, the last part was fun to watch. The first hour is basically them talking about like AI and Musk saying that AI will sort of enable human abundance and you know, everyone's gonna like have, you know, more than they could like possibly need through AI. And I don't know, mate. What I want to say to Elon is, have you factored in ninjas to this equation? Because I don't think that any kind of like, you know, system of like abundance, like, because the way Elon frames it is from the culture novels by Ian Banks, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't read, do you? Maybe I should summarize just a little bit. Okay, so Ian Banks.
Well, if you're just gonna fucking tell everyone,
well, yeah. Okay,
now everyone knows. Fucking thanks a lot.
So Ian Banks wrote a series of science fiction novels about the culture. The culture are basically sort of like advanced humans. They have like AIs that sort of babysit or shepherd their civilization, and they also have the ability to like change matter, so they can just take stuff out of stars. So they've all got like more than they could like possibly ever want. I think this is like a bit silly. It's doubly so because there's no religion at all in the culture, right? They are perfect lib shits. Every single one of them to a man and woman, right? They're like massive hedonists. They have like drug glands where they can like, you know, have any drug that they want, like on demand. They've got like, you know, sort of bioengineered sex organs. They're just like total hedonists, right? And instead of Ian Banks sort of, you know, drawing the obvious conclusion that a civilization like that would just die, because they're being shepherded by benevolent AIs, everything works out. It's, I don't know. Anyway, so it starts getting like spicy towards the end. And so, yeah, I wanted to like play this bit. Enjoy.
Hugely exaggerate the challenges that Europe faces. Secondly, in areas I completely agree with you. I think that.
Oh yeah. So just to lead this clip in, she's basically asking Musk, like, you know, why do you present such a negative view of Europe, right? Like, have you even been? X is like promoting like propaganda about like mass migration, that London's a terrible place. Well, of course, she doesn't live in the bad parts of London, right?
Really?
Yeah. She lives in the nice parts where there's still law and order and there's still like white people. I've said this a bunch of times. All of these people, they all come from the same parts of London and they never really like go outside of it.
But, you know, the constraints on freedom of speech in the UK in certain areas are problematic. What worries me is that the people you are supporting are really quite vile people in some areas. Like some members of the AFD, Alice Weidel, whom I've met, is a perfectly thoughtful person, but in her party are some real neo-Nazis, are some really, really awful people.
The real ones.
And your blanket support of this kind of party with 240 million followers means that you have a power in Europe that I think perhaps you don't realize the scale of impact you have, but you can.
Well, good. I hope I am having a big impact.
But why? Why should you? Why should you?
But why? But why, Elon? Right? Like, why are you?
Yeah. Why should you? Anyways, people that, you know, just moved here can have a say in the fucking country. That just fucking came off the fucking boat.
Shut up and make your bloody cars and robots, Elon. Right? Don't open your mouth. This whole thing is like so Eurocuck versus America. It's it's hilarious.
You be able to shape European politics? You don't even live there.
I think of it as the sort of the West collectively.
But do you see why this makes people think that this man who has all this power, he's the world's richest man, he thinks he has.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck?
Uh-oh. Did it happen again?
It down.
No way.
Oh.
Is it because you're in the UK? You do a VPN?
I don't know. Wait, let me see if I can find like another another
Wait
version.
Wait a minute, dude. Really? Again. That happened with a microphone head. I can't remember his name. Matt Nuclear. That's what it is. That happened with Matt Nuclear. We're in the middle of watching his content, and all of a sudden, he took it down. This is interesting, though. This is really interesting. Is that other link not there anymore?
Yeah, it's gone. That's all right. Someone else has posted it because the internet is fucking awesome.
Wow.
You
Well,
can.
good. I hope I am having a big
But
impact.
why? Why should you?
Why do you want to have an impact?
European politics. You don't even live there.
I think of it as the sort of the West collectively.
But do you
Yes,
see why this
global
makes
whites.
people think that this man who has all this power, he's the world's richest man, he thinks he has a right to influence our politics. It makes people, it's why, we started this conversation saying superlatives. It's why people loathe you. I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But
I
do you
don't care.
understand why? Do you think what you're doing
Well,
is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care.
Uh-oh. In the UK, do you guys have any thing prepared for when somebody might say that, or nothing? Or you just deer in the headlights every time you're fucking politicians?
Yeah, you call them a racist. Look what's been happening with Rupert Lowe. Exactly the same thing. Right?
She tries to go alakazam, and the spell doesn't work, and she's like, "Okay, another spell in here."
But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't, and I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize. Do you realize the media is despised? Do you realize that journalists, the view of journalists is like a favorable view of journalists is like 15%.
I do know that. In the
Look at just trying to comprehend.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, I know. I'm the devil. Yeah, I know. I'm one lawyer.
Wait. I've got a. Here we go.
Shut up, silly woman.
Yeah. I know. She takes it all the chin.
So the shoe is on the other foot. They hate you. They hate you far more than they hate me.
I think there is certainly a loss of trust in journalism. I think in part there have been mistakes by journalists and journalism. I totally acknowledge that. But I also think that the kind...
Oh, yeah? Would you care to list some of those mistakes?
Dude, everything is so vague and dismissive in your fucking country, dude.
Look. It's not important who waged psychological warfare on who, right? Or who minimized which crimes. It could have happened to anyone, really,
No, they'll go, so you've never made a mistake. Oh, so this person has to be perfect.
Kind of polarized environment, particularly on social media, fostered by the kinds of things you are pushing on X, actually helps this, makes it worse.
I don't think so.
Sits with it. That's
no. Okay, awesome.
That pause was brought to you by the perfect amount of autism. He was not uncomfortable by the silence.
The problem, the media, and speaking of loathing, you're loathed far more than I am, and you don't seem to even realize that.
I think very few people know who I am relative to you, so I don't.
Is she acting like she doesn't understand what he means? Making the conversation impossible.
She's doing the millennial woes meme. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're hated. Do you even know that?
She's doing the face. Where is it? Oh God, I gotta get the frame.
That's actually because they're gonna call you. They're gonna call you hateful, and his response is, "Do you know how much people hate you?"
Yeah.
That's kind of a pretty good reverse.
Relative to you, so I don't think I play in the same game.
The media collectively. So, I mean, you're hated.
The face.
That's the face.
That's the
lady
face.
that was talking to Sydney Sweeney. I'll fucking pull it up right now.
What do you mean? That we're hated. We're journalism. People love us. I am the lead journalist at The Economist. People love the journalistic class. Fucking, oh my God. Spectre, if you're watching, mate, thumbnail profile pic for you right there, man. Oh my God.
Do you even know that? You probably don't.
I like to think that I'm aware of my own personal shortcomings and The Economist's shortcomings and our worldview shortcomings. Yeah. But what we stand for, as you know, is liberal values, traditional, classical liberal values, where we worry about concentrations of power, and we believe in the individual and the dignity of the individual, and individual freedom.
Right.
I
agree with
firmly believe that. And I have long thought that you were a classical liberal. But when I read
I thought
what
you
Bruce
were.
Post, Classical liberal, JS.
I thought you were a classical liberal.
Hey, hold on, pause it. It's beautiful. It's the lady on the top, and that's the face. That is the kind of smiling, trying to smile through what you're saying kind of face. Oh, that is beautiful.
Yep. That's the face, man.
Limited government, individual freedom.
Wait. Hang on. I need to go back a little bit.
Oh, sure.
This is like insane.
3. Unequivocally, Europe is in a better place. Yet you seem to paint a picture of Europe being a hellhole.
No, wait. Did I just fuck that up?
Safe cities, secure borders, and sensible spending.
I'm aware of my own personal shortcomings and the economist's shortcomings and our worldview's shortcomings. But what we stand for, as you know, is liberal values, traditional, classical liberal values, where we worry about concentrations of power, and we believe in the individual and the dignity of the individual, and individual freedom.
Right.
I
agree with that.
firmly believe that, and I have long thought that you were a classical liberal. But when I read what you post, classical liberal, J.S. Mill, limited government,
right? She lives in the United Kingdom and she believes in limited government.
Dude,
the UK government captured over 50% of the entire economy. At the height of the USSR, even they only managed to capture 30%.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
There is no such thing as limited government in the United Kingdom, right? Government is basically a gas, and it will expand to fill any container that tries to contain it. The urge of government is to always expand, and there is no fucking pushback to try and make government smaller. At this point, the only businesses doing well in the United Kingdom are those that are getting money from the government. It is more accurate to talk about this country as a government with a smaller private sector wrapped around it.
Is that why they want to ignore the communist history so much? Because they're like, we're kind of blowing some of these numbers out of the water. Let's just not tell them about the numbers of communism, okay? Sure, not the deaths, right? But some of the, let's say, allocation of resources.
Have you even read Locke? Oh, fucking classical liberal, J.S. Mill. Dude, that shit is like old, number one, and like none of that shit works in multiculturalism. Oh,
well, when does anyone say they're doing it in the name of that? That's what I say to like Marxists when they talk about capitalism. Like, there's no J.D. Vance isn't saying he's a Hoppian, right? He's not saying that like he's a fucking Millist or anything like that.
Yeah,
you guys call yourselves Marxists, you call yourselves Maoists, you call yourselves Leninists. Okay, fuck off.
Individual freedom.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But when I read what you post on your feed, I sometimes wonder whether you really do believe in that.
It's working your kids.
Elon, I like you, but sometimes the things that you post make me question whether you really are a classical liberal. You don't want to disappoint me, the Foyd from The Economist. This dude's literally building his own space program. Right?
Well, I mean, she herself is like, I don't think anybody knows who I am. It's like, so then why do I give a fuck what you think? On one hand, no one knows who you are, right?
Well, she is a representative of the pantsuit wearing class.
Oh yeah,
you see what I'm saying, right? The pantsuit liberal. Okay, that's why she like makes that face. That's why the idea that someone like Musk could be concerned with the kind of grievances that we are concerned about is just ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I literally said, look, I believe in safe cities, secure borders, and sensible spending with respect to government. That doesn't make me right-wing at all, in the least.
Does the US or do European countries score better on those?
The US is better.
No.
Yes.
Safe cities, much more dangerous in the US.
No. Yes. Well, I mean, again, which part of America are you talking about? Right? Like
the whole thing. It's like a monolith, you know?
This is such a stupid
You felt the same in Memphis as you did in Idaho, right?
That's right, precisely. Right? It's so retarded. Or Europe versus America. What? San Moritz versus Memphis versus downtown Memphis. Like what? Like, could you vague post even more?
Right.
In the UK. Sensible spending, bigger deficit here, out of control. You failed to reduce it. Secure borders now under the Trump administration. I agree with you. before not. But on 2 out of 3, unequivocally, Europe is in a better place. Yet you seem to paint a picture of Europe being a hellhole.
Wait, what's the better
I don't think
place?
Europe's a hellhole.
Sorry?
What's the better place?
Europe, of course.
Did she substantiate how they're doing better and what
Ardy,
metric?
It just is. All right? I'm not going to hear this. Like, look, to the
She is
Eurofoid,
demoralizing.
right? To the Eurofoid, Europe is obviously superior. Just look at America. Oh, my God. You guys have guns? Like,
Worse, we have fat people.
You need to join civilization like the Eurocucks. Give up your air conditioning and your guns and your burkas.
No. The air conditioning surprised me. I'm never forgiving you for not being allowed to carry mace. I don't forgive you. I will never forgive you. Maybe if I follow Christ, I'll forgive you. But until then, I am not forgiving you for that. I still can't believe you can't carry a mace.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so brutal.
Okay, we can agree on something.
When did I ever say that?
Well, the picture you paint of
No,
Europe
you're
on
just-
X.
you're
The
making
picture
up
you
things.
paint. Well, I'm not.
You're just
You
literally making it
say
up.
civil war in Britain is inevitable, and then you basically proselytize for the citizen vigilante film, which really does paint Europe as a hellhole. It just starts with ominous music, and it says Europe.
Well, there was out of control rape and murder.
Some more.
Look at it. She can't even process it.
She couldn't.
Out
of control rape and murder. Anyways,
she probably thinks the grape gangs is overblown, and no. After all, the victims were like working class, not like her, who went to university and is a big journo-foid at The Economist.
Dangerous in this country than it is in Europe.
Where there is danger in this country is because we fail to incarcerate repeat violent offenders, and that's the classic sort of Soros DA or judges that fail to incarcerate repeat violent offenders. And if somebody gets arrested 50 times, literally, for violent crimes, and eventually they're going to kill somebody. So you either incarcerate them or people will die.
I think the prevalence of guns has quite a lot to do with it too.
Oh yes. Checkmate, Ameribro. Do you think it might also be the guns?
Dude, she really deserves something to happen to her. Okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is a much more dangerous country. Murder rates are much higher, in large part because there's so many guns.
Well, let me give you an interesting number. There are more people that die in Europe from heat deaths than people that die from gun deaths in America. Why aren't you writing an article about air conditioning?
We've done several on air conditioning, and we had on our cover last week a whole long piece about why
Pro air conditioning.
Yeah, we're very pro air conditioning.
Okay, good. Well, good.
Very pro.
Good for
You should read us. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I think
Credit's where it's due.
I think you have a view of The Economist that is not entirely accurate. So I will.
Oh yeah, I mean, how could you possibly get that view from like literally just talking to this void for like what is now an hour and 15 minutes? Yeah.
You come look at England, start reading The Economist, and I will, start directed on my criticism of you.
No, you won't. Come on, she won't change her mind about anything
in this area.
There are many parts of Britain and Europe which are not safe. You can't just walk around.
But there are far more in this country. Far more.
No, I don't think so.
All right, let's go and get my fact checkers to check that.
Yeah,
My fact checker.
Oh, the fact checkers. Let's get just the idea that you can.
Can someone tell me I'm right?
I mean, the idea that you can believe crime statistics coming out of the UK is fucking risible. They don't record. They don't release like the raw crime figures. They do surveys afterwards. This has been detailed extensively. Under Blair, they changed the way that crimes are recorded, number one. Number two, a bunch of people just don't report shit anymore because it's just fucking pointless.
I mean, there's probably crimes that have happened to you where you're just like, this is technically a crime, but what am I going to stand in line? Fucking spend the time to fucking go down there?
The cops aren't going to do anything anyway, so what's the fucking point?
That's true.
Let's move on from this because I think I've got a sense of why you're doing what you're doing.
The point is not that the question is not is America perfect? The question is does Europe have a serious and growing problem?
The question
Absolutely,
is which is more dangerous. That's where we started this.
Europe has a serious and growing problem. I'm not going to say that the United States has no problems. Of course it does. But we should all try to address these issues.
We can agree on that. We should all try to address the problems. My point was simply that I think you exaggerate the scale of Europe's problem, and that
I think people are asleep at the switch and do not realize the magnitude of the issue.
I also think that your interventions.
Well, I think this about you.
That's what I think.
Dude, I can never unhear it when Andrew Wilson was like, "Oh, is that what you think? Well, here's what I think about you." I can never unhear it. Also, we have updated.
No, we're not doing that. You're getting called a slur.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Be risk making Europe's problem a lot worse.
How?
Because you are putting your support behind people who are proto-authoritarians, who are not trying simply to...
Oh, what, like, oh, fuck. What, like, the Labour Party is an authoritarian. Oh, my God.
No, see, they're nice, they smile.
Oh, my God. This is just...
Yeah, so if you take a picture of them...
It's the same old shit. We
No,
can't
dude.
have anyone... We can keep going left. We can keep going left, right? We got no problem with the Fabians, but if anyone... vaguely right wing gets anywhere near power, everything is going to collapse.
When I look at a picture of Jesus and he's not smiling, it makes me sad. When I look at a picture of Keir Starmer and he's smiling, it makes me happy. See? See how that works?
Make sure there is better integration of Muslims or to secure the borders, but who have very clear...
better integration. Well, you gotta go to the mosque, are you? Right? What, you gotta stand up in front of the mosque, right? You gotta like fucking lecture them all on like integration. Oh fuck, man, this is so fucking deluded. They don't want to integrate. They have no interest in integrating. Like, they're fine as they are. Oh my God.
How would they integrate? They would just be not being violent. Like the standard for integrating is so low at this point too. Please don't hurt me. Thank you.
I presume what they mean, right, is they think they're gonna go in and, I don't know, edit Diabandi Islam so that to remove the unpleasant bits and recreate like a harmless version of Islam that's compatible with the West. Now, even if that were possible, how are you going to do that? They are not going to let you do that. And since using force is by definition right wing, oh God, it's so fucking delusional.
Islam, just like Judaism, just like leftism, does not stop. It does not. No, the Africans don't know what the word future and maintenance is. They don't understand those concepts. The Islam and Moos and the leftists don't understand the word content. They never stop. It keeps going in the direction they want to go in, which is away from your society every time.
Yeah,
there's no moderate versions of them.
And you will cause huge divisions within Europe.
I think what you're saying is total fiction, and really, I'm simply saying that that Europe has to have secure borders, and should not let in vast numbers of people with views that are antithetical to the accepted views in Europe, and where there will not be some level of safe cultural integration. This is simply common sense.
If all you are saying is Europe should have secure borders, I completely agree with you. Then I have misunderstood.
Yeah, what a benign statement. There's no better statement that the civic nationalist loves than like, yeah, I believe in secure borders. Yeah, of course I believe in that. Oh, good for you.
How would these secure borders come about, Ojono Floyd? What you're gonna petition Ursula von der Leyen? You're gonna like write a stiff letter to the European Commission, right? Like, how is this? Like, you're just this. Not until parties like the AfD actually get into power and they are able to put pressure upon the European Commission, none of this is going to fucking change. Oh my God.
Have been on social media, because that is not what the view I have, not what I would conclude having seen what the people you are supporting and the things you're doing. But if that's your goal, I share your goal that Europe should have secure borders.
Yes.
I think that's perfectly agreeable. That gets me to a question.
And let me explain what the fundamental forcing function here is for why the borders are not secure, which is when you have a welfare state that provides substantial benefits to anyone who comes there, you create a very powerful economic forcing function for anyone who is below that standard of living to come to Europe. It is an obvious, powerful driving force. And people will come there if their standard of living is, from what they get in Europe, is above where they are elsewhere in the world. It's very basic.
I completely agree with that.
Yes,
I don't
it's a
disagree
very
with that.
basic incentive structure.
Economic conditions, economic influences determine a lot of migration. I think asylum is a separate issue, but I think you're absolutely right. There are pressures for migration. However, there are other things that you haven't focused on, which is migration brings a lot of benefits, and it also particularly does so.
Migration brings a lot of benefits.
It's so vague, so general and vague. Yeah, a lot of good stuff happens, you know?
Yeah, it brings a lot of benefits, you know, particularly when the migrants come over and sign on to benefits.
In a continent like Europe, which is a rapidly aging continent. So we can...
Oh, yes. Europe is a rapidly aging continent. We need all of these, like, young fighting age blacks and browns. You know, like, let's not question, like, why the birth rate is in the toilet, okay, right? Hard to say. Probably social and economic factors, you know? Not the fact that you've got all these women in employment not having fucking kids. Oh, fuck. God.
Agree that completely uncontrolled borders are a bad idea. But I think Europe benefits from having immigration, controlled immigration. It brings...
Yes, I'm in favor of immigration. Obviously, I'd be hypocritical if I wasn't, since I'm an immigrant to the United States. I'm in favor of immigration if the person immigrating is going to be a productive member of society, if they're going to be honest, and if they're not going to mistreat people.
Why do you think an African like Elon was able to assimilate to the United States so easily and be so successful?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Why aren't
really.
the other Africans able to do that?
No, I mean,
I know what it is. He read the Constitution. Answer my own question.
Of course. He read the Constitution and he internalized those American values. That's why he was able to integrate. You've cracked it, Ardy. All we need to do, right, is figure out some way to launch the American Constitution inside the minds of all of the migrants. Perhaps some kind of like MK Ultra psychic driving thing, right? Where you play the US Constitution on repeat.
Do you know how good that would be for the world? Okay. Do you know how good I would feel for doing that? Which is the most important part of doing that?
We could call it sissy hypno-Americanism, sissy hypno-constitutionalism.
It's right there. It's so close.
Look, I think I'm onto something. Okay, right? We call up Mossad and we get them to like make new versions of sissy hypno porn. But instead of like turning men into like total cucks, the brainwashing makes you into a civic nationalist. Right? So as you goon, the more you goon, the more American you become. Look, come on, mate. It's a perfect idea.
There's the will.
Oh, God. Okay. How much more of this is there?
Well, no, we probably have supers as well. We didn't do.
We do have supies. Yeah. Let's. Okay. So yeah, the spicy bit is like done. Let's
Sure.
Let's get on to some supies. Food a bet for $10.
Oh, yeah, Rob.
Thank you very much. When you showed the judge, I was working on my vector and launched a part into orbit. Super chat minus $8 for replacement.
Sorry.
Well,
I should have warned you.
Yeah, that's always a danger if you're doing like fine work while listening to funny podcasts. Jam for $10.
Thank you, mate.
Hey, Jam, how you doing, mate? Hearing what that Somali did to that girl and is walking free because of soft judges makes me want to federal agent post. Makes me wonder how much it's happening and being hidden. Yeah, well, right? Like, that's a very, very good
This is just
question.
what's being seen.
Yeah, exactly. Mega Dizelle for $5. In some white excellence news, this week an Englishman became the head of Thai Buddhism.
What?
Oh, God.
Did you know that the king of Thailand, the one before this current king of Thailand, was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts?
I did not.
Isn't that wild? The amount.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure Ho Chi Minh went to school at a school in Boston as well. The people that come out of Boston are not Bostonian, believe it or not. A lot of them for a long time now.
Jam for $10.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you very much, mate.
Mighty nice here.
Pagans will never succeed as long as they act like rebellious children. They hate God because he is the moral authority, and pagans hate authority and have no coherent morality. Cue pagan whataboutisms. I mean, that's a pretty good summary of my position,
Sure.
Jam. Like,
sure. Now,
you know,
you guys have to understand that I'm an atheist. You have to understand the things that I hear about atheists that I just let roll off my back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, pagans, imagine if I was like, "What are you saying about atheists, motherfucker?" Like, imagine if I acted like I had no idea why there was such a bad reputation of atheists. Like, pagans, you have to understand. You simply must understand why there is a bad reputation. Okay,
there is
you can't act shocked when people say things like this.
There is
right?
a very Luciferian, by which I mean rebellious, component to both atheism and paganism, in my opinion, that modernism has very, very much exacerbated. But look, we can get into that on Monday.
We gotta stop ourselves. I tell you now, it's gonna be good.
Phosphorus Antimony for $5. Survive the Jive is a good pagan representative. Remember, fellas, Christians and pagans are both idol worshippers by our enemies. Well, that is certainly true, except the Moos prefer the pagans because they don't worship Jesus.
Naturally.
But yes, you have a point. Master Shake for $5. Jake versus Ardy Civnats debate. Let's go.
No, I don't want to fucking debate Jake Rattlesnake. If I was going to talk to him, I would really... A lot of stuff that I've been hypothesizing on the internet, he seems to be engaging with in person. So I would really just talk to him. I would really try to unfold the ideas that I've been having and see if he's... I'd bounce things off of him, things I've been noticing on the internet, because it can be a reflection in real life. The guy's fucking traveling all around Europe talking to these fucking groups on the ground, and like he's going to like fucking Hungary and showing like shitty parts of it and whatnot. I'd really just see how on the mark I am about certain things, my intuitions. It would be me testing my intuitions, I suppose. A debate. What the fuck am I getting? What are we going to fucking debate about? We essentially fucking probably agree with 90% of stuff.
I'm not even sure, like, debate actually, like, you know, like blood sports debates,
not compared to what it was
anywhere, right? Like what is it even for? Like, okay, I mean, I get it's entertaining, right? If you're just doing it to entertain the audience, that's like one thing, but to expect that you're gonna like get anything serious out of it, I don't know.
Well, the internet of like 10, 15 years ago, there wasn't nearly as much parasociality. So now it's very much that's your guy. It's way more teams. Things are way more polarized. And so now it's less of the actual debate and persuasion and more so my guy dunking, which is only it's hitting a point right now where it really, I want to watch someone get embarrassed in a debate. Like the exchange of ideas. I don't know if it's like an exchange of ideas would be a conversation, and it might be like a contentious conversation, but I wouldn't say a debate. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean, right? Matty Ice for $5. This axe wound looks like she's living smack dab in the middle of Hamster Teeth. Yeah, I agree. I bet she does live in freaking Hamster Teeth, quite frankly.
Fucking might as well. The white trash part of Hamster Heath.
New gem for $5. Fist, have you ever looked into Elon Musk's parents, specifically his mother? It's worrisome. No, I haven't looked into his mother. I did look into was it his father or grandfather was part of like this weird sort of transhumanist technological sort of like movement in Canada. He actually got kicked out. That's how they wound up in South America. Very, very interesting story. CSI member for 8 months. Can you guys restart the post-war period? I don't like this one and want another one. Yeah, we'll get right on that.
Dude, I talked to the devs. There's not a patch coming in the foreseeable future. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I do have something from Rumble. Can you just pop up here right quick?
Okay, and Agile Walrus has been sending gold coins. Thank you, Walrus.
The Grand Inquisitor for $20. Let me just Do my little thing, baby. Thank you.
Wait. Where's
I don't know how it's. Oh, it is working. Okay. Here, lads, have some money. We're not voting our way out of this. There is no political solution. Well, you have to have at least an incrementalist backup to whatever you think you're doing. Otherwise, it's kind of just the French Revolution, isn't it? Because then what do you? Even if you take to the, then what do you do after you take to the streets, right? You would still need some sort of incrementalist guiding force. So the solution actually can only be political. Because I mean, violence in the street would just be considered political violence, right? I guess not political in the conventional way that you're talking about, because they're kind of just ignoring us, right? Which we don't prefer. We wish it wasn't this way, but I always go with the incrementalist solution. Otherwise, I'm not stopping anyone from doing it. I'm not encouraging it. But when people kind of say stuff like that, I'm like, okay, go ahead. Think it's easy to organize and like do something stupid like that? It's not. It's really fucking difficult.
It's also, in my opinion, not fundamentally in the character of modern whites. Like this is one of the reasons why they've been very successful with civilizations is the fact that they tend to like hew to government and leadership and this kind of like stuff. So once again,
if we start fighting, we know it's not going to stop. Right.
No, but once again, what is a tremendous strength then becomes a tremendous weakness, right? It's like a lot of shit is like that.
Well, I think a lot of us understand that like the left is allowed to go and we don't have power, so the ones in power are allowed to do things that we are not allowed to do, which makes people very frustrated.
The inspiration for the left was not the whites. Is my point? You see what I'm saying? Like, Field Corps Inc. member for 1 month. Thank you, mate. Elon should have asked her who formulated the ideas of classical liberalism. Hint, hint, they weren't nonce.
Oh, we love that
would have been a base
conversation.
reply. Try to like a painting for $10.
Look at that, mate.
All of the worst cities in the US have European-style politics. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I know, right? I mean, the reason why it's European-style politics is because it also doesn't advantage whites. That's really what makes it very European.
That's right. Flavius Acanacius for $10.
Oh, get there, bruv.
The indoctrination you're talking about are just videos on Rome and Wigzantium. yeah, exactly. And Cyberchud for $5. Hello, Sir Chud. How you doing, mate? Elon is just like the Liberians. He read the Constitution. Precisely.
I don't know if that was before or after I said that. That was pretty on point.
There is no difference between Elon and your basic Liberian. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay, so that's end of super chats. We got like 5 minutes.
Terrific. Hey, all I want to do, all right, is understand why all the stuff I find of this guy. This is on a channel with 300 subscribers. Okay, why?
In that sense.
Where do I find his real content?
The black Israelites, they are not with
Imagine if we had him on talking about the black Israelites. We could. He's on a channel with 300 fucking subscribers, dude. Okay, I don't know what his politics are over here. All right, but man, it would be really fun to interview him.
The government's doesn't know where they are.
Yes, they're like off the books, and they're like government. No.
Well, then, yeah, I guess you could say I'm a black Israelite.
I'm just gonna sit here and watch it. Okay, you can put something up. I'm just gonna sit here and watch him. He's my favorite thing right now. But he's only on really small channels. Like this is probably at like what they do, like stand up here and there, and so they were allowed to use like the stand up stage to do an interview with this lighting and stuff like that. What else would it be?
I've got
He's
no
300
idea.
subs. Oh, I'm fascinated by him.
Okay, so we'll finish off with this guy Brandon Gill.
Oh yeah.
So he's been doing some like hearings in Congress, which are like quite funny. They're sort of like he's just annoying the sort of heads of woke institutions, and they've got really nothing to say. Basically, they're just totally avoiding the question. But he's a good questioner, so enjoy.
According to the ABA's website, quote, all of us have implicit biases. Would you agree with that statement?
The ABA believes that diversity, equity, and inclusion improves
Would you agree with the statement that, quote, all of us have implicit biases from the ABA's website?
The ABA believes that diversity in all of
Is
its
that a
realms
yes?
is
Can I
important.
take that? It's a yes or no question. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases, as your website says?
The ABA looks to remove barriers, and we examine.
That's not my question, ma'am. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases?
I've expressed what the ABA is.
Start it with a yes or no.
That is the ABA's position, as expressed by their website. Against which groups do you have implicit biases?
The ABA believes that it's important to always
Are you going to filibuster? Because it doesn't make you sound very good. I'm going to ask you again, against which groups do you have implicit biases?
It's important to always examine everyone's point of view and where they may need to consider.
It is. What about your point of view?
I am here as the president of the American Bar
This is
Association.
like talking to a child.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is I think the tactic to get through the next 2 years is just stonewall, basically, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
just not answer the question, pretend to not
But
understand.
Can't you demand that they start the answer with a yes or no? Can't you, like, is there really nothing we can fucking do in these situations? That's where I become frustrated.
Well, I mean, she's the head of the American Bar Association, so I presume if you tried to like haul in front of court, you're like, I mean,
well, you have to answer.
But the thing is, the fact that they won't answer the question betrays a lot. You know what I mean? Like, everyone.
I mean, no, Ketanji Brown Jackson's on the fucking Supreme Court, and she couldn't say what a fucking woman was, dude. They don't give a fuck about doing this shit. They're like, they know how to just drag their feet through it and go, I'm not gonna fucking answer you. And then there's people in power that are gonna fucking put me through. Nothing. This is a dog and pony show. I'm so tired of it.
Total Blackout Painting calls it goy looping.
Oh yeah.
What your implicit biases are?
The ABA is an entity.
Have you reflected on your implicit biases?
I think about how I operate
What are they?
in the world constantly.
Would you like to explain to us what they are?
I am here speaking on behalf of the ABA, and the ABA.
So
it doesn't do anything. It's like having Fauci in court in front of everybody. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens.
Speaking of which, Fauci's actually going to be in front of Congress under oath. Ron Paul finally.
Wait a minute. He has to make. Whoa. He can't go against his promise. He's going to be under oath. Oh, dude, let me fucking watch that, dude. I'm glued to it now.
Look again. Okay, right. We all know what's going to happen. Okay. Paul will ask him a bunch of questions. Fauci will just prevaricate. Nothing will happen to Fauci. They've been trying to get Fauci for he's just going to talk about the droplets and how many lives were saved under COVID. Man, that's an accent I haven't broken out for a while.
And he was trying to do his best. Okay. He didn't have a fucking stroke of ego and go, I am the science. Okay. He was humble and trying to help people.
Did you make sure to wear a mask?
Yeah, let's do a game, Moo or Fauci, with the fucking impression. See if
no, Fauci's got that. I don't know where's his accent from.
It's
from New York.
He's from New York? I know, but so aren't Moos. I know, but there's a lot of New York in the Moo as well.
The Jesuits, man. All right, bros. We out of here. Thank you so much, everyone who super chatted. We'll be back on Monday, actually, for the special.
Yes, that's not an Ardy and Fist. He's going to be on my solo stream as a guest, where we can really interact with chat on the topic of white first versus Christ first. We're going to be watching the Thomas Rousseau conversation with Joel Webbin, raising a lot of questions. It's going to be talking about paganism. We're going to be building a bridge with pagans. I don't know if I can build a bridge with National Socialists. I understand the idea, but the people are big meanies. They don't seem like they like to laugh a whole lot or appreciate my jokes very much. So I'm going to try to build as many bridges as I can while pissing off as many people as I can. Because the only way you can really see what a movement is about is, honestly, it's kind of through some sort of tension or antagonization. Because then they say what they really mean. Then you hear what they're really talking about, and then that can actually be confronted.
All right. Good night, everyone. And yeah, we'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Goodbye.